Hello and welcome to Orange County, California. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you today as the Conejo Oaks, they've traveled down south to face off against the Orange County Riptide. The Conejo Oaks yesterday coming off a big loss, 10-0 to the first place Arroyo Seco Saints. The Saints, they're sitting atop of the first place standings in the CCL. The Riptide, they're in fifth place, trying to climb up in the standings as the Conejo Oaks, they're sitting in fourth place right now with an 8-7 record. The Riptide, they're at a 7-9 record. So 3.5 games out of first place for the Riptide, 2 games out of first place for the Conejo Oaks. And let's go ahead and get right to the starting lineups. Grant Smith, Brendan Bobo, Anson Arrows to the top 3. Zach Gregory, TJ Foreman, and Greg Melhoff in the middle of the order. JT Naviak, Raul Sandoval, and Austin Carrillo end out the lineup. As we're about to get set for the first batter, Grant Smith, he's going to be leading it off. He's going to be facing off against the pitcher, number 33, Cade Connolly. Connolly, a lefty for the Riptide. He'll face off against a right-handed batter in Grant Smith. The first pitch to Smith, that one misses away, 1-0. And defensively for the Riptide, you have Krizik in left field, Allen in center field, Simmons in right field. In the infield, you have Dreiss, Cervantes, Diaz, and Owen left to right, as the second pitch to Grant Smith is called for a strike. The count's even 1-1. Then you have Penso behind the plate, and that'll round things off defensively for the Riptide.
And Knight, the key in this game for the Oaks is just a different outing than what we saw against Riptide last time.
Grant Smith sends one high in the air to center field. Coming over is Allen. He's under it, and he tracks it down, and Grant Smith is retired.
And so Grant Smith, strong barrel on the ball, just a little bit underneath it. It looked off the bat like it had a chance to go far. It bounced off of the barrel, but just a little too high on the exit velocity, and Dwight Allen, a rangy center fielder, able to get underneath it.
And that's a big out right there for the Riptide. Grant Smith was batting .308 on the year coming into that bat, .339 in league play, as now a lefty-on-lefty matchup as Brendan Bobo steps up to the plate. He swings and misses on the first pitch to him. 0-1 to Brendan Bobo. And Bobo in league play, he's batting .193, but overall in the year .280 as he fouls off the second pitch to him, 0-2 early. And Brendan Bobo, he started the season hot, has cooled off as of late, still has 5 home runs on the year and 18 RBIs to go along with that .280 batting average. He does have 18 strikeouts, though. The 0-2 pitch. That one misses high and away. Connolly trying to get Bobo to chase. He does not. The count now 1-2 to Brendan Bobo, who today he's batting in the 2-hole spot. Seen him all up and down the top of the order as he waits on a pitch and sends it high in the air to shallow right field. Treading back is Diaz. He comes over, makes the play, and 2 are gone.
At Knight, I think the biggest difference between this game and the last time that the Oaks were here in Orange County is the pitching matchup that they're going to face. Today, they're against Cade Connolly. The first time they were against Tony Roby. Roby, he is one of the better starting pitchers for the Riptide. He boasts a 2.2 ERA. Connolly, it's not the same. He's around the 7.2 ERA mark, so the Oaks are trying to jump on him early.
First pitch to Anson Arrows in there for a strike, 0-1 to Anson Arrows. And you mentioned the 7.2 ERA for Cade Connolly, but he does have 4 games he's played and a 0-0 record. This one's fouled away by Arrows. Count now 0-2. Connolly, his last time he pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 earned runs and 9 hits in that game. That was against the Foresters on July 10th, 6 days ago. Also had a 4-inning performance in a win against the Ventura County Pirates, which he gave up 2 runs. Pitch to Arrows misses high. The count now 1-2 to Anson Arrows.
And you mentioned Connolly, and it's been a while since he's pitched. Arrows, it's been even longer since he's seen the field. The last time he played for the Oaks, that was on July 8th.
Arrows fouls one back at the net, headed towards here, but the net stops it. We'll do the 1-2 again, and you mentioned Anson Arrows hasn't caught in a while. He's back in the lineup today, batting in the 3 spot. One of the higher places we've seen Arrows in the batting order as the 1-2 pitch. Arrows skies high in the air and foul. Do the 1-2 again for the second time.
Yeah, and this is not Anson Arrows' last performance since that July 8th mark. He was a member of the showcase game for the Oaks. That came this Tuesday. He started the game behind the dish for the South. In the South, they ended up winning 6-2.
Arrows rips one to left field. That's going to get down. Arrows headed towards second. He's going to take a big turn. The throw, not in time. Arrows in there safely. A double with 2 outs for the Oaks.
And Anson Arrow is one of the more aggressive and athletic catchers you'll see. He has tremendous speed, especially as a catcher position. And right there, earning an extra base, putting himself into scoring position with 2 outs in the inning, that is a big extra base. A runner on first, you're not worried that much if you're Cade Connolly. But now a runner in scoring position, you have to pitch Zach Gregory tight because a hit is probably going to score Arrows as he already showed off his speed on the base paths.
Arrows batting .381 in league play. There, another example of that high batting average. Rips a double. It's only a second double of the year, second extra base hit of the year, as now Zach Gregory steps up to the plate. Showed bunt, pulled back. Pitch was low. 1-0 to Zach Gregory. So you have Anson Arrows on second after a 2-out double. Previous to that, Grant Smith and Brendan Bobo both flew out. And now Zach Gregory, who's getting the start in the cleanup spot right now with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch, that one misses low again. Count now 2-0 to Zach Gregory.
And Gregory, this is the lowest in the lineup that I think we've seen him throughout the entire season. We normally see him in the 1 spot or the 2 spot. Now all the way down in the 4 spot batting cleanup. He doesn't have a ton of extra base hits to his name this season, but he's in a power spot.
Connolly, he's set. The pitch, that one in there for a strike. The count now 2-1 to Zach Gregory. And Gregory this season batting .143 on the year, although his on-base percentage is way more impressive. .438 on-base percentage, has gone on with 15 base on balls as well as a couple of hit by pitches throughout the season. So he's always had a knack of getting his way on base. As the 2-1, he sends this one high in the air towards center field. Allen tracking over. He comes to his right side, makes the catch, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. So Anson Arrows, he's left on second after the 2-out double. We head to the bottom of the first inning, still tied here in Orange County. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in Orange County. Starting pitcher for the Oaks, Donovan Waitman, as the first pitch from Waitman misses to Dwight Allen. 1-0 the count to Dwight Allen, who's going to be leading things off for the Riptide. Krizik, Freeman, Owen, they round out the first 4 as the pitch misses away to Allen. 2-0 the count. Blake Penso, Terrence Simmons, Cody Drice, Efren Cervantes, and Davis Diaz. That'll line out the Orange County Riptide lineup as the 2-0 pitch, that one misses. So 3 straight balls from Donovan Waitman, who's on the mound for the Oaks today, to Dwight Allen in a 3-0 count. Oaks only had 1 hit in the top of the inning. It was a 2-out double by Anson Arrows as the 3-0 pitch to Allen in there for a strike called. The count now 3-1.
Yeah, and Dwight Allen, he was named to the showcase game, one of the outfielders for Orange County that was in Compton on Tuesday. And a large reason for that is his on-base percentage. He's worked 15 walks so far on the season.
Allen lines one to Naviak, the shortstop. He catches it on the line, and Allen's retired on an L6 on the 5th pitch to him. And now with 1 out, Austin Krizik will come up to the plate.
And right there just was not solid contact. It missed the barrel. It was a line out just a little bit too far outside of the barrel off the end of the bat, and JT Naviak was able to field it cleanly.
So Austin Krizik, he'll step up, the left fielder today. He's facing off against the right-handed pitcher in Waitman as the first pitch is fouled away, 0-1 the count. And Donovan Waitman, this season he has a 1-0 record. He picked up that win July 6th. That was against the Barons. In that game, he pitched 5 innings, only gave up 1 earned run and 5 hits. His last performance, though, was his best performance of the season as the 0-1 pitch misses. It was an off-speed pitch, the count even 1-1. That game, 6 innings pitched, only 2 hits, no earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. That was 14 combined strikeouts in his previous 2 games, which are his 2 best games of the season. Pitch misses away to Austin Krizik, and the count now 2-1 to the left fielder. 2-1 the count, the pitch. This one's lifted high in the air, foul territory, treading over his Bobo, Arrows, and Waitman, heading towards the dugout and falls in the dugout of the Oaks. Count now even 2-2 to Krizik after the foul ball.
Yeah, and right there, Brendan Bobo, he was chasing after it, and he leaned up against the netting of the fence. And I think he was even trying to push out the fence a little bit because the ball was scraping against the fence that was protecting the area of play. Brendan Bobo, I don't know exactly what his goal was in leaning against the fence that heavily because the top of the fence is connected by a wire. I don't think it helps.
So the 2-2 pitch, this one's lined, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Heading towards second is Krizik. Fielding it in left field now is Gregory as Krizik's on with a 1-out double, and the Riptide, they have a runner in scoring position, and they're in business.
Yeah, and more huge than Anson Arrows' 2-out double last inning is a 1-out double for Austin Krizik, and that's going to bring up the heart of the order, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do in that spot. You get down to 2 strikes, you're able to put one into play, curve it right down the line, don't do too much, don't try to drive it for power, just get right over the third baseman's head and get down and play.
7th double of the year for Austin Krizik, and now a mound meeting happening. Arrows and now Naviak's going to come in and talk to Waitman. Think they got to discuss a little bit about the strategy with the runner on second and 1 out.
Yeah, it's just defensive strategy and pitch selection. JT Naviak, he came in, got his strategy from Arrows, and then Arrows stayed a little bit longer to talk to Waitman, settle down his pitcher, because Donovan Waitman, he's been fantastic throughout the start of this season, and Anson Arrows just trying to calm him down a little bit and make sure that he's going to come back and show what he showed throughout the last few starts that he's had, where in those last 2, he won player of the game in both of them.
So, runner on second, 1 out. Colton Freeman, the DH at the plate. The first pitch to him, he swings and misses on an off-speed pitch. 0-1 to Colton Freeman. And Freeman, he played the last time these 2 teams played. He went 2 for 3 in that game. Had 4 RBIs as well as a base on balls. And if my memory serves me correctly, I believe Freeman was the guy that when he walked, he bolted towards first base. The 0-1 pitch. In there for a strike. The count now 0-2 to Colton Freeman.
And Freeman last time against the Oaks, he had 4 RBIs in that game. So he was a big contributor in that game, and he's trying to be a big contributor with a runner in scoring position now.
0-2 the count, the pitch. That one misses away, and Freeman now battling. Had an 0-2 count, now has a 1-2 count. Overall this season, Freeman, he's been swinging the bat pretty good. He has a .349 batting average, 11 RBIs on the season. Does have 9 strikeouts, though. The pitch from Waitman. Freeman sends this to left center field. Going back is Sandoval at the track. He makes the play. Heading over to third now is Krizik. The throw comes into Naviak, and now 2 are gone with runner on third.
And that's just a great read by Raul Sandoval. We were fielding some balls in batting practice, and it is tough when you go back to the warning track in order to track it and make sense of where the wall is. And that ball was piped off of the bat of Colton Freeman. But we saw Raul Sandoval. He was able to get a beat on it. He was able to get under it and able to make sure that the fence was not in his way and that the ball was not going to go out of the park. And that is just a good piece of center fielding, and that is why Raul Sandoval is standing right back there.
So Clayton Owen, he steps up to the plate, the first baseman. The first pitch to him in there for a strike. Owen won the count, and Waitman today, he's been able to get a couple of strikes. His last 2 batters he's faced, he's had 2 strikes again against them. The first batter, Dwight Allen, he only got 1 strike. As the pitch is sent to center field, going back is Sandoval. He makes the play in dead center, and the inning is over. So Krizik stranded at third after his 1-out double. We head to the top of the second inning, still tied 0-0. You're listening here on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the second inning, still tied 0-0 as the Conejo Oaks, they're up to bat for the second time today. The first pitch to TJ Foreman, that one misses inside, 1-0 the count. And Foreman, he's facing off against Cade Connolly. He's back on the mound after a 1-hit first inning as the second pitch to Foreman, that one misses low. The count now 2-0 to TJ Foreman.
And so we've seen in both innings the first ball get ahead to the leadoff batter in the inning, and the few batters for the Oaks get ahead.
The third pitch to Foreman, it hits him, it brushes him up. Foreman heads over to first, unaffected on the hit by pitch, and the leadoff man's aboard for the Oaks.
And it's crucial for the Oaks in this game right now to win. Right now, the Oaks are sitting in 4th place in the standings. They're sitting behind by a half game to both San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara. They're 2 games back of Arroyo Seco, and they're a game and a half up on the Orange County Riptide, who have been struggling a little bit as of late.
First pitch to Greg Melhoff. That one misses outside. The pitch, count now 1-0 with TJ Foreman leading off from first. Nobody out. Lefty on lefty matchup. The pitch from Connolly. That one catches the zone. The count now even 1-1 to Melhoff. And Melhoff, he's trying to get his first hit as a Conejo Oak. He's played in 2 games, and he hasn't had a hit in 8 at-bats. The pitch, that one's fouled off by Melhoff, and now Melhoff has a 1-2 count. 1 strikeout on the year for Melhoff. Originally from Gresham, Oregon, goes to Pepperdine. Foreman leads off from first. They throw back, Foreman in there safely. Still awaiting the 1-2 as Melhoff.
And Foreman, his goal for every game is to steal 3 bases, so picking off with Cade Connolly is important to keep Foreman at bay on first base because he is a menace on the base paths.
Foreman goes, the 1-2. Looked at by Melhoff, he's rung up. Stealing second base is Foreman, and now a runner on second with 1 out.
And so Melhoff goes down there looking, and I think that he's almost okay with that at-bat because advancing Foreman was the most important thing in that at-bat. Getting the leadoff man on and then advancing him into scoring position with just 1 out in the inning. I think that's incredibly important for the Oaks, and even though Melhoff wasn't able to stand in there and swing the bat, he lets the pitch go by so that Foreman is able to take the extra bag.
First pitch to JT Naviak, that one's fouled off. The count now 0-1 to Naviak, and continuing with that thought, Foreman, he heads over to second. I think Melhoff is semi-okay. I don't think he's okay that he looked at a strikeout. I think it was planned that he was going to look at that pitch and have Foreman take off, but it's the 2nd strikeout of the year for Melhoff. The 0-1 to Naviak. That one catches the zone. Count now 0-2 as Connolly, he gets ahead to JT Naviak, the shortstop. Naviak in conference play, he's batting 160. Overall in the year, under the Mendoza line at 197. The 0-2, that one misses low. Count now 1-2 to JT Naviak.
And for Naviak, it's about resetting into the second half of the season. He started out the day yesterday 0 for 3, but he got a hit in his final at-bat yesterday. So it's important for him to capitalize on the last at-bat and continue just ride the momentum from game to game, at-bat to at-bat.
Connolly steps off the mound as he was looking towards second. Foreman had a huge lead. You can see Diaz, the second baseman, he headed over there. No throw was made, and Foreman in there safely. So 1-2 the count, 1 out, runner on second. The pitch. Got him looking. Naviak sent down looking, back-to-back strikeouts looking for Connolly, and now 2 are gone with runner on second.
And Foreman is getting a ginormous secondary lead. He's about halfway between second and third base. In that scenario, you should just go if you're TJ Foreman. With your speed, you have the third baseman in Dreiss. He's back, his feet just a step in front of the outfield grass at third base. If you're getting that large of a secondary lead, just take third base.
So now Raul Sandoval, the 8-hole hitter, he steps up to the plate with a runner on second. He swings and misses at the first pitch to him, 0-1. And Sandoval batting 118 in league play, 160 overall on the year. Hasn't swung the bat great all year, but he has 3 hits in his last 7 plate appearances. Pitch misses inside. The count now even 1-1 to Raul Sandoval.
And so Sandoval, he's another person who's looking for a reset in the second half of the season, and he started out his second half successfully. He's been a strikeout-prone player this season. He has 23 on the year, but he did get a single to lead off his day against Arroyo Seco.
Check swing does go, and Sandoval now behind 1-2, and you mentioned does strike out a lot. Yesterday, did strike out. 1 strikeout in his 3 at-bats.
He only had 2 at-bats yesterday because he got pinch hit for in his third.
Is it?
Yeah, he had a single, struck out, and then Hunter Call pinch hit for him.
Thought Call pinch hit in the 8th. Runner goes. Sandoval sends one to center field. Going back is Allen. He reaches back, makes the play, and the inning is over. So Foreman, he's left at second after the hit by pitch to start the inning. 3 straight outs for Connolly, and we head to the bottom of the second inning, still tied 0-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the second inning, Donovan Waitman on the mound. He's set to face off against Blake Penso, Terrence Simmons, and Cody Drice. As the first pitch to Penso, that one misses 1-0. And Waitman in that first inning, he had a line out to Dwight Allen, gave up a double to Austin Krizik. Colton Freeman then flew out to center field, advancing Krizik to third, and then Clayton Owens flew out to end the inning. As the second pitch to Penso's in there for a strike, the count even 1-1 to Blake Penso.
And so what I saw in the first inning for Donovan Waitman is that he's been hit harder and barreled up more today in the first inning than we've seen from him, probably combined in his last two starts.
Penso fouls one way foul down the left field line. The count now 1-2 to Blake Penso, the catcher.
And even that one was barreled up for Waitman. He had two consecutive impeccable starts on the hill where he just continued to mow down batters. He had 8 strikeouts in his start 2 times ago, and then 6 strikeouts and just 2 hits and 6 shutout innings in his last start. So Waitman, he's been incredibly well the last few times that he's been on the mound, but right now he is getting barreled up.
Penso sends one high and deep to left field. Going back is Gregory at the track, at the wall. It's gone. A solo shot for Blake Penso, and the Riptide, they take the lead. It's 1-0.
And did I say barreled up? That one was barreled up, and we've seen a few of those barreled up into the deep outfield. It looked like Penso might have gotten underneath it like a few of the other guys did. Colton Freeman and Clayton Owen both drove balls into the outfield that got a little bit underneath it, but that time he just got enough of it to have a wall scraper right over the fence in left center. And Orange County, they jump ahead of the Oaks for the second time in both of the games that they've played.
First home run of the season for Blake Penso. He's going to be a freshman next year at UC Irvine. It's now up to the plate, Terrence Simmons, the right fielder, as you can hear cheers coming from the Riptide dugout. First pitch to him, and he sends it high and deep. A line drive to right field. Back is Foreman, and that one's out of here as well. Back-to-back home runs, and the Riptide, they extend the lead. It's 2-0.
Yeah, and Waitman right now, Orange County just has his number. They're sitting on pitches. They're barreling them up. He tried to open up right there with what looked like a changeup, and just sitting on it was Terrence Simmons, and he was able to drive it. Luckily for the Oaks, it is only 2 solo shots. A 2-run deficit is not anything to be too far out of the game about, not too far behind, especially with a pitcher on the other side and Cade Connolly, who's had a little trouble getting outs.
First pitch to Cody Drice. That one's fouled away. 0-1, and after back-to-back pitches that went over the fence from Waitman, a foul ball is a step in the right direction for him. Nobody out still here in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch. That one bounces in the dirt. The count even 1-1 to Drice. And Drice, he's batting .207 on the year. Has a .361 on base percentage. Originally from Seattle, Washington, goes to Washington State University. A swing and a miss from Drice. The count now 1-2. Drice, the third baseman today, steps up with nobody out after back-to-back solo shots. Looks at the 1-2 pitch, and the count's even 2-2 from Waitman.
And, Knight, let's talk about Donovan Waitman in this start compared to his last 2 starts, or really his entire season of starts, where he's been very effective throughout the entire year.
Pitch is inside. Count is full. 3-2 to Drice.
And particularly in his last 2 starts, they were tight wins against the Barons and the Coastal Cubs, both low-scoring, 1-run wins for the Oaks. And Donovan Waitman was immaculate in both.
The full count pitch misses, and a walk allowed to Drice.
And so, even when Donovan Waitman was giving up a few runs in the first few starts of the year for the Oaks, where against the Saints he gave up 2 earned runs in 4 innings pitched, but the Oaks, they won that game 5-4. The Barons, on June 30th, that was 3 starts ago for Waitman. He gave up 3 earned runs, but only allowed 5 hits. He only allowed 7 total base runners and threw 4 2/3 innings, which isn't terrible at all.
First pitch to Efren Cervantes. That one's fouled away. 0-1.
And so there's been a little bit more pressure and expectation mounting on Donovan Waitman, and right now, a little bit of that expectation not translating to the field as back-to-back home runs come across.
Swing and a miss from Cervantes, 0-2.
And as a pitcher, do you think that type of stuff can get in your head and you start to press too much on the hill, or is it isolated performances and Orange County has just had his number a little bit and his stuff just hasn't been quite as much as it has been the same because they've just barreled up a few balls so far today?
Waitman nods his head. The 0-2 pitch, that one misses. It's now 1-2. And to answer that question, I believe that, for Waitman, he's just getting barreled up today. I think that it's been 2 hits. They have had some lineouts and some flyouts, but overall today, besides this inning, I think it's at his normal stuff. It was just 2 pitches that really were sent over the wall. The pitch is outside, 2-2. I mean, Waitman this year, he's walked 5 batters. This was his 6th walk of the season, which by game, it's about average. Average is about a walk a game. Hadn't had a walk in his last 2 performances, though, as a swing and a miss from Cervantes, and he's sent down swinging. So first strikeout of the day for Donovan Waitman, and right there you can see Waitman, he battles back, and I think it is just a couple of hits that were sent over the wall, and I think as of right now, giving up 2 runs, I think it's all right. I think it's not the end of the world.
Well, the Orange County Riptide, they're not a power-hitting team. Coming into today, they only had 3 home runs in conference play on the entire year. They had 2 of them back-to-back right there. I think that might be a little bit of a cause for concern, or maybe it's just an outlier where 2 bats came together. But I like to think that, or at least the way that my line of thinking is that it's a little bit concerning where you have a non-power-hitting team who's batting just .265 as a team on the year, have 2 balls go over the wall consecutively.
Pitch misses to Diaz, 1-0, and, well, you have to look at Blake Penso. Today's his first game.
That's absolutely right. New guys in the lineup will help a team.
The 1-0 pitch, that one misses outside, so 2-0, but my point is Penso, he sent that one over the left field wall. Penso wasn't there for the first half of the season, so does Penso make a difference and increase that home run total? Yes, absolutely. He's 25% of the home run total now with that home run. The pitch to Diaz, that one's in there for a strike. The count now 2-1.
That 25% of the total is short-lived. He had that for about 1 pitch.
Yeah.
Moved it to 20% as Terrence Simmons, who was the worst batter in conference play on the Riptide, was the other man who hit the home run.
This one skied in the air from Diaz infield. Coming over is Grant Smith. Calls everybody out. And back-to-back outs for Waitman with a runner on first. I don't know. I think that sometimes the bat's going to swing it good. The weather today, it's nice. You can see the wind is slowly breezing out to right field. So if you look at Simmons, he's a left-handed hitter. He just sent one on the line. The wind carried it a little bit. I mean, back-to-back outs for Waitman. I don't think this is a shaky start. Like, he's not hit that point yet to me. I think it's just been 2 hits that have been really good. First pitch to Dwight Allen. That one's in there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
And I think to that point, I think you're right. He was barreled up in the first inning. He did get barreled up to start at the second. But since then, it seems like he's locating pitches better, even in the walk to Cody Trice.
Swing and a miss from Allen, 0-2.
And so I think that Waitman, it's sort of a wake-up call with those home runs. He's starting to settle in. He got the strikeout to Cervantes. He got a flyout on the infield to make it the second out of the inning, and now he's attacking the leadoff man. And I think he's pitching better.
The 0-2, that one misses low. Tried to get him to chase, did not, was Allen. 1-2 the count. So runner on first, and Cody Trice, after he walked, back-to-back outs on a strikeout and a flyout. And Allen, he grounds it to the third base side. Melhoff gets it on the hop, throws over to first, and the inning is over. 3 straight outs for Waitman after giving up back-to-back solo shots over the fence. The Riptide, they take the lead 2-0. We head to the third here on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Top of the third inning, the Oaks, they're trailing 2-0. Austin Carrillo at the plate. The first pitch to him, he showed bunt, then pulled back. 1-0 the count to Austin Carrillo. And Carrillo, he's the first or last batter to get an at-bat today. He's going to be leading things off. He's followed by Grant Smith and Brendan Bobo, who are at the top of the order. Showed bunt, tried to bunt it, went foul to the backstop. The count even 1-1 to Carrillo.
And Austin Carrillo used as a lineup turnover piece. He's a designated hitter batting in that 9 spot. Typically we see him in left field. But today, a contact hitter getting the 9 spot, and that's just trying to get the bat back to Grant Smith with a potential runner on base.
The 1-1 pitch, that one misses away outside. 2-1 to Austin Carrillo.
And I talked with Raul Sandoval, who was in the 9 spot last game, and he said that he really liked being the man who turns over the lineup to the top of the order. So I believe Carrillo, who's someone who is another type of contact hitter, someone who gets himself on base, feels the same way.
The pitch to Carrillo, in there for a strike. The count even 2-2. Carrillo this season, he's batting .286. He has 8 walks on the year, only 4 strikeouts. As he stands in, only 1 extra base hit on the year. That was a double. As he swings and foul tips his 5th strikeout of the year. 3rd strikeout today for Connolly, and now 1 is gone.
Only 5 on the year for Carrillo, but 2 in his last 2 at-bats. He struck out in his last at-bat in a pinch hit to end the 8th inning yesterday, and now struck out again here to start off the 3rd inning. So he hasn't been a strikeout hitter this season, but in the second half of the year, that's all he's seen is 2 at-bats and 2 strikeouts.
So now Grant Smith steps up to the plate. First pitch to him, off-speed pitch that he looks at. It's called for a strike, 0-1. Smith, his first time up, he came up in the 1st inning to lead off the game, of course. He flew out to the center fielder on the 3rd pitch he saw. Second pitch to him misses, off-speed pitch, count even 1-1. And Grant Smith, he has a hit in every game dating back to July 6th against the Barons.
It's a 7-game hit streak.
Pitches inside to Smith. Count now 2-1.
And he's just been someone who not only has been able to get on with hits, but also his on-base percentage has continued to rise throughout the season as well. He has an on-base percentage right around 400 on the year and a batting average right around 300.
The 2-1 pitch is called for a strike. Count now 2-2, and his on-base percentage is at .393. Got it as high as .403 at one point in the season, but .393 right now. As the 2-2 pitch, he swings and misses. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Connolly, his 4th strikeout of the game. And now 2 are gone here in the 3rd.
And that's sort of been the Achilles heel for Grant Smith on the year. He has 17 strikeouts on the season, and despite having that really high hit total, he has gone down on the strikeout when he has gone down.
So now Brendan Bobo, he steps up to the plate. 2 outs, nobody on. The Oaks, they're trailing 2-0. First pitch to Bobo, off speed. That one misses inside. 1-0 to Brendan Bobo. And Bobo, his first time up, he flew out to the second baseman, popped it up as the second pitch to him bounces in the dirt. Was front-footed, held back, and now the count 2-0 to Bobo. The 2-0 pitch. Bobo looks at it. It's called for a strike, and now Bobo, with a 2-1 count, is going to have to battle a little bit.
And Brendan Bobo, he's batting below the Mendoza line in conference play, but on the season he's batting .280.
Swing and a miss from Bobo as he falls to his knees. They count 2-2 to the 3rd straight batter this inning.
And that ball bounced in front of the plate. That was a breaking ball from Connolly that bounced in front of home plate, and Brendan Bobo, he went fishing for it.
The 2-2 pitch. That one misses away. The count is full to Brendan Bobo. Bobo this season, he has 6 walks. Also has 18 strikeouts. Go either way here. The payoff pitch. Bobo, high and deep foul. Got a little excited on that one.
He did get very excited.
It's hard to see where the ball's going to go with this pole right here. We'll say that.
We have an obstructed view in the broadcast booth. Not even a booth. The broadcast station.
The broadcast table.
More of a bar. It's not even a table.
Bar, yeah. The payoff pitch again. That one misses away, and Bobo's aboard at first with a walk.
That's a good at-bat for Brendan Bobo. He went up in the count, swung at the pitches that he thought he could get to. He did give a few strikes away, but once it got down to 2 strikes, he protected the plate and then was not too aggressive and was able to get himself aboard. Despite swinging at a few pitches out of the zone, Brendan Bobo with a good piece of hitting.
So now coming up to the plate, Anson Arrows stands in for the second time, this time with a runner on first base. 2 outs. The first pitch to him. Check swing, a dribbler up the first base line. Coming in is Connolly. He steps over it, and the ball goes foul. Arrows, he stepped over the ball, that was. The ball was dribbling up the first base line, eventually curved foul. 0-1.
And that's one of those plays that's incredibly tough for everyone. Incredibly tough for the batter, tough for the catcher, first baseman, tough for the pitcher. Because the pitcher and the first baseman, they're going after the ball, as well as the catcher to try to field it. Someone has to get to cover the bag. But also, with Bobo headed to second base, it has to leave someone covering second base. So Diaz, probably the man who should have been covering over at first base, but the ball rolls foul, so it doesn't matter.
The 0-1 pitch to Arrows. That one misses low. Count even 1-1. And Arrows, his first time up, he had a double down the left field line. That was with 2 outs. He was left stranded on second. That was in the first inning. But now stands in with a runner on first. Off-speed pitch that Arrows waits for. He fouls it down the third base line. Count now 1-2.
And so for Anson Arrows here, it's important. Wait for a pitch to hit and make sure that he protects the plate. And that's what he's been really good at all season long. He only has 3 strikeouts on the season compared to 6 walks. So he hasn't had the total plate appearances and at-bats as some of the other members of the team. But he has been effective when he has gotten in, when he has gotten to the plate. And that's a big reason why he was a member at the showcase game on Tuesday.
The 1-2 pitch. Arrows grounds it foul to the third base side again. Do the 1-2 again. And Arrows, his on-base percentage was around 500 for a while. Currently it's at 471. It's pretty ridiculous for a kid that hasn't even played any college baseball yet. Batting .346 too and leading the Oaks in batting average in conference play. Pitch to Arrows, that one misses inside. The count 2-2.
And Knight, if this next pitch is a ball, I want you to watch what Anson Arrows does when he comes out of the batter's box, because the only other people I've seen do this is really Juan Soto on the Nationals, where he sort of squares up the pitcher, steers him down, and starts to practice swing to get in a rhythm.
The 2-2. Got him looking. Arrows knew it. He was headed towards the dugout, and that'll do it for the top of the third inning. Brendan Bobo, he's left stranded on first after the 2-out walk. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Connolly, and we head to the bottom of the third with the Oaks. They're trailing 2-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Bottom of the third inning, Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. The Conejo Oaks, they're trailing 2-0 after back-to-back solo shots by Blake Penso and Terrence Simmons last inning for the Riptide. Donovan Waitman still on the mound. The first pitch to Austin Krizik in there for a strike. 0-1 to Krizik. And Krizik, his first time up, he had a double. That was in the first inning. He advanced to third on a fly out from Freeman, who's on deck, and was left stranded there in the first. Pitch from Waitman bounces. He spiked that one. Count even 1-1.
And he gave a little shimmy after he spiked it because he just held onto that pitch too long. Sometimes the ball sticks. Sometimes it doesn't leave your hand as properly as it's supposed to. So getting himself a reset back in rhythm, trying to locate the next pitch.
Third pitch to Krizik. That one's fouled away towards the backstop. The count now 1-2. And Ryan, without looking at your sheet, how would you spell Austin Krizik's last name?
K-Z-R-Y-Z-C-Z-S-K.
You were way off.
That's about right. It's about as many consonants as there are.
The 1-2 pitch misses, so now the count even 2-2 to Krizik, and the correct answer you were looking for is K-R-Y-S-Z-C-Z-U-K. So that's a Z, a C, and a Z back to back to back. This one's grounded to Naviak, the shortstop, the throw across the diamond, and Krizik's retired.
And you don't want to put that on a spelling bee. It's about as impossible as it gets. Do you have any spelling bee moments that you remember?
No, but I do remember from first grade how I remember how to say the word, or spell the word people is Piopal.
Piopal. I have a funny spelling bee anecdote.
Yeah?
In 8th grade English class, we had a class spelling bee, and the word was abomination. And in an honors English class, we went through half the class, and no one was able to spell the word abomination. First pitch a ball to Colton Freeman. And so we went through the entire class, and our English teacher, she had a New York accent. The one person she picked to reiterate the words for her had a Texas accent. So it was very hard to identify how to say each word or how to pronounce them phonetically.
This one's a soft flare in the infield. It's going to get down. Naviak can't field it, and Freeman's on with an infield single in a weird way.
And that just landed right at the feet of Naviak. I'm rather confused why he didn't catch that ball. It looked like if he would have just reached out his glove, it would have been in it.
It looked like he was charging in. The ball was just beyond the mound, and he just couldn't get there in time. That was just my vantage point.
Maybe it was a little bit farther. We have a weird depth perception up here. But to me, it looked like a play that it would have been tough, but it would have been one that Naviak had a chance at. But either way, we went around the room trying to spell abomination.
Runner goes. The throw from Arrows to second, not in time. Freeman's in there safely. And now runner in scoring position for the Riptide, and a 1-0 count to Clayton Owen.
And by the time it got to me, about 13 people had tried and failed to spell the word abomination. And so I'd given up. And President Barack Obama was the president at that point. So I said, you know what? Why not? Let's take a shot in the dark. Abomination. O-B-A-M-A-N-A-T-I-O-N. Abomination.
Pitch misses outside. 2-0. And Ryan, that is the most cringeworthy story I think you've told all season.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I'd given up. I thought the correct spelling was already said. By the time we got the correct spelling, everyone had thought it was already said.
Pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 the count to Owen, and I have no idea why you decided to bring that story up. I know we were talking about Krizik and how to spell his last name.
It's a fun spelling bee anecdote.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like you set that one up because you wanted to talk about it.
I did. It's exactly what that was the exact reason for why I did it. We think it was teacher error. Teacher error in our honors 8th grade English class.
There you go. Didn't even know there was honors 8th grade English classes. It's crazy.
Honors English classes for every year.
Whoa.
At least for me. In high school.
I never had honors classes even in middle school, let alone an English teacher.
You didn't have an English teacher?
Donovan Waitman on the mound. He steps off. Yes, we had a period where we didn't have an English teacher for a while. They replaced, or the teacher that was supposed to be there for English, she left, went to another school, and then they just didn't hire one, and we had a long-term sub. Then they hired another teacher, found out she wasn't qualified, then they gave us a long-term sub again. It was a wild middle school time.
Oh, I have a lot of long-term sub honors English stories, but we'll have to save those for another day. That's a bus ride conversation.
3-1 the count to Clayton Owen, the first baseman. Runner on second, one out. The pitch from Waitman. That one misses away. And Owen, he's on to first. And now 2 runners are on with only 1 out. Coming up to the plate, Blake Penso, who sent one right over the left field wall his last time up.
And so, Knight, before we completely move on, I want you to try to give me the correct spelling of abomination.
Abomination? A-B-O-M-I-N-A-T-I-O-N.
Congratulations! You would have won the spelling bee in our honors English class.
There you go. Pitch misses to Blake Penso, 1-0, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm not.
I did not think you were going to get that on the spot.
I am not a good speller at all. I will 100% say that. Spell check is my friend, and I am a journalism major. The 1-0 pitch. This one sent high in the air. Shallow left field this time. Heading over is Gregory. He's under it. He makes the play. Heading back to second is Freeman. Heading back to first is Owen. And now 2 are gone.
And right there, Penso just a little bit too far underneath it. It looks like he's dialed up the timing from Donovan Waitman, but that time just wasn't able to barrel it up.
So now Terrence Simmons, the right fielder, he steps up to the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Donovan Waitman looking to get out of the jam. No runs surrendered in this inning as the pitch. Owen's in there for a strike to Simmons. 0-1 the count. And Simmons, his last time up, similar to Penso, he sent one over the wall. This one that he hit, it was over to the right field wall on the first pitch he saw. But now with 2 runners on and 2 outs, standing in for the second time today. The pitch. Called a strike, and now Simmons, he's down 0-2.
And so Simmons, he did have that home run, but that has not been the mantra for him all season. He only had 4 hits on the year coming into today, and only 1 of them was for extra bases. So that was his biggest hit of the season, most powerful hit of the season. Now he's trying to come through with a big RBI.
Runner goes to third. Hit and run situation as Simmons sends one to the left field. Coming in and around third is Freeman. The Riptide, they extend the lead. It's 3-0.
And so he tried to come through with a big RBI, and he got that 5th RBI of the season. He just shot one in between the hole between Naviak and Melhoff, and it rolled right into left field. The runner on second, and Colton Freeman was running on the pitch. He was able to easily score without a throw.
So now Cody Dreiss will step up to the plate. Similar situation that Simmons was in. Actually, not similar. Same situation. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. 3-0 the lead now as Waitman, he steps off. And no, they're going to call a balk. It's Waitman's second balk of the year. And now the runners are both in scoring position at second and third.
And so for Donovan Waitman, it's the batter at hand. Cody Dreiss, last time up, he was able to walk on a full count. And for Waitman, he needs to get an out here.
Pitch misses away. Count now 1-0. And Waitman, like I said, second balk of the season. It's a crucial moment here as 2 runners are now in scoring position. 3-0 the score right now. Any base hit to the outfield could score 2. This one sent high in the air in the infield. Coming in is everybody. Melhoff calling people off. He makes the play, and the inning is over. So 1 run comes in on the Terrence Simmons 2-out RBI single, bringing in Colton Freeman, who led off the inning with a single. Just those 2 hits in the inning, and 1 walk surrendered from Waitman and the 1 run. We head to the 4th. 3-0 the score. The Riptide, they lead. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the fourth inning. You know what that means, Ryan. It's your turn for play-by-play.
Thank you, Knight. Leading off the inning for the Oaks, it's Gregory, Foreman, Melhoff, the 4-5-6 middle of the order. They're trying to cut into the 3-0 lead the Riptide have. Cade Connolly delivers the first pitch of the inning. It goes behind and clips Gregory on the back shoulder. He gets hit and gets aboard. First pitch, leadoff batter on. That's the second time for the Oaks today where a leadoff batter has gotten aboard with a hit by pitch.
And that was interesting right there. I was surprised he called it a hit by pitch. It grazed the back of Gregory, and it looked like he was showing bunt, and I'm not sure if he pulled it back in time. Thought maybe he could have been hit by pitch but a called strike because the bunt was laid down. Apparently he did pull it back just in time, is grazed, and he heads to first.
Yeah, I saw Gregory pull the bunt back, and right there, I think he also tried to avoid the pitch as well. He pulled the bat back and then tried to lean away and curve his back, but Foreman, first pitch to him, in there for a strike, the count 0-1. Either way, Zach Gregory, he's aboard at first base. Last time the Oaks had that runner on, it was in the second inning. That was TJ Foreman, who got aboard with that hit by pitch, but then back-to-back strikeouts for Connolly, and a fly out to end the inning by Raul Sandoval stranded Foreman. The Oaks trying to have a more productive inning here. This pitch swung on, fouled out of play, so Foreman, he's down 0-2. TJ Foreman, his last time up, was up 2-0 by the time that he got hit with that pitch. So a different at-bat right here than we saw from him in the first inning, or the second inning, first at-bat. Foreman, he struck out 15 times of the season to just one walk. So a speed threat, but also susceptible to the strikeout. The 0-2. Grounded in the hole between second and third. A diving play by Diaz. He keeps it from going to the outfield but throws it away. Gregory, he goes to third. The ball is retrieved by the catcher, and now runners on the corners, the speed, and no one's covering home plate. Zach Gregory's coming around. Foreman headed to second. He dives in there safely. There's no one at third base. Foreman, does he see it? And the shortstop, he finally gets him to stop running. That was Cervantes, who pointed at Foreman. He noticed that no one was on third, and he was the only one who noticed that. Heads up base running from Zach Gregory. The speed of TJ Foreman forced a poor throw, and the outstanding play by Diaz to keep it in the infield is for naught, as the Oaks, they now trail by 2 runs. It's 3-1.
And man, that play was all over the place, but Foreman right there smiling big as he pointed towards the shortstop Cervantes. They both knew what was going through each of their heads. They smiled, they laughed things off, but Foreman on second, and Gregory, smart base running, he scores.
That's going to bring up Melhoff. Foreman, headed to third base. He slides in ahead of the tag, so he has a stolen base. He's 90 feet away, and now a runner in scoring position for the Oaks, 90 feet from home, and Melhoff trying to be productive. He has no hits yet on the season, but he has barreled up a few balls. Right now he's trying to come through with the first hit to continue a long inning, or what hopefully the Oaks want as a long inning. Second pitch to him, a ball. The count 1-1. I have to regroup after that play. It's all sorts of hectic.
Yeah, there was so much that went on in that play. Foreman, he beat out the throw. It looked like whatever the play Diaz made, it was going to be close at first.
The 1-1, Melhoff has to duck out. That ball headed for his head. He gets out of the way successfully. The count 2-1. Melhoff, he's had 8 at-bats so far this season, just 1 strikeout to his name. Has not gotten a hit, has not walked yet, but he has barreled up a few balls. One, a diving catch in left field yesterday that he was not able to get down. As this one misses the plate, it's 3-1. He had another barreled up ball yesterday that also in center field ended the game, not able to get down as well. So 2 potential hits yesterday on hard hit balls, but not successful. So that 0-100 batting average, as you like to call it, Knight. Bit of a misnomer as the 3-1 catches the zone. The count has worked full.
I love the 0-100 batting average.
I think it's a new trend. We should print T-shirts.
0-100? I like that.
I'm not sure who'd wear them.
We can wear them. We can be trendsetters.
The payoff pitch. Melhoff swings through and misses his second strikeout of the season. Connolly battles back from down 3-1, so now 1 out in the inning. JT Naviak now trying to convert. The second strikeout of the day for Melhoff. The sixth strikeout of the day for Connolly. And I don't know if we want to be walking around wearing 0-100 T-shirts. I'm not sure if that's a good look for us.
I mean, we are batting 0-100.
Naviak swings, grounds one to third base. Foreman's going to come in to score. Dreiss throws over to first. It's in time to get Naviak, but the RBI ground out cuts the lead to just one. A successful at-bat on the first pitch. Score is 2-3.
Are we not batting 0-100, Ryan?
Well, we're not batting at all.
Exactly. We're batting 0-100.
We're not even on the stat sheet.
Yet.
First pitch to Raul Sandoval. He rockets one high in the air, but it's going to stay in the park. The right fielder settles underneath it. Simmons makes the play, and the inning is over. But not after the Oaks cut significantly into the deficit. 2 runs come across in the inning. No one got a hit, but a big-time error by Diaz, the second baseman, allowed for Foreman and Gregory to come across. No one left on base. We head bottom 4 when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Back bottom 4, Donovan Waitman still on the hill. He's given up 3 runs so far in his outing, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Now facing off against 8-9, and then the leadoff hitter Dwight Allen here in the 4th inning. Efrain Cervantes, he's the man to start off the inning for the Riptide. Watches the first pitch go by and missed the plate. The count 1-0. Donovan Waitman, that was his 60th pitch of the day. Defensively for the Oaks, Brendan Boba at first, Grant Smith at second, JT Naviak at short, and Melhoff on the hot corner at third. This one fought off the end of the bat. Stays foul. Count is 1-1. In the outfield, in left, Zach Gregory, center, Raul Sandoval, right, TJ Foreman, battery connection, Antonero's behind the dish, and Donovan Waitman still on the hill. That's still the defensive alignment as it's been since the start of the game for the Oaks. Last time up, Efrain Cervantes, he went down swinging. That was the only strikeout of the day to this point for Waitman. And Cervantes, he goes down with 2 strikes again. So now it's 1-2 to Efrain Cervantes. And Waitman, he's been ahead in a few counts so far. He's had a little bit of trouble getting out of those counts, where the last few starts he has been very effective in getting out. The 1-2, grounded to second base outside of the glove of Smith, and a single, another 2-out hit for the Riptide as a leadoff man is on in the 4th.
I think you mean 2-strike hit for the Riptide.
Yes,
there's
2-strike
no
hit. Yes. I've done that a few times this season.
It's all good. It'll
Outs
happen.
are hits, dugouts are bullpens. They're all the same thing.
No, but okay.
In my mind, they all conform. That's going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, Davis Diaz.
I'd say there's a big difference between a dugout and a bullpen.
Well, not here. They're very close. They're actually connected.
It's true.
First pitch into Diaz. In there for a strike. The count 0-1.
Could you imagine warming up, like, to pitch in the dugout?
I could. You'd have to get everyone out the way. Might need to beat some dirt in the dugout, too. The 0-1 off-speed pitch misses inside to count 1-1. Not sure how the metal spikes would do on the dugout ground. The concrete might be a problem.
Ooh. Yeah, that back foot sliding. Ooh.
Especially without elevation. Might create some sparks. The 1-1 on the outside part of the plate misses the throw back from Arrows, not in time. Diving back in safely is Cervantes, the count 2-1. When we played with metal spikes in baseball, we always used to try to spark up the dugout. And what I've realized now is that was terrible for the Spikes.
Absolutely.
The 2-1 thinks about it, but it's outside. The count 3-1. Waitman falls behind. He's already walked 2 batters so far today. He had a 3-ball count to Dwight Allen to lead off the game. Those are the only 3 times he's had a 3-ball count before this at-bat. He gets back to the payoff pitch as Diaz swings through an elevated fastball. The count is 3-2. Runner on first is Cervantes. Last time up, Diaz, he flew out on the infield. Grant Smith was the man who retrieved that ball. Payoff pitch from Waitman. Swing and a line drive into left center field. That's going to get down. Cervantes, he's rounding second, headed for third. Sandoval throws to second base. Retreating back to first is Davis Diaz, and the 8-9 hitters for the Riptide both convert with hits. And now they have 2 runners on and 1 90 feet from home with no one out in the inning.
And Waitman today has given up a few singles throughout the game. That was his 4th single that he's given up, and that time it was just a liner to left center field. Sandoval came over, had a little bit of trouble fielding it initially. Thought maybe that Diaz was going to head to second. He has stopped in his tracks halfway between second and first and then retreated back to first. But now, runners in on the corners, and this is a big moment for Donovan Waitman. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen. It's on him to get out of this jam.
Now it's going to bring up Dwight Allen. The leadoff hitter has not gotten a hit yet today. Lined out to the shortstop to start off the game and then grounded out to Melhoff in the second inning to end it. Now up for his 3rd time with 2 runners on, fouls off the first pitch, the count 0-1. And I think the difference today between the last 2 starts for Waitman is the lack of strikeout stuff. Combined in those last 2 starts, he had 14 combined strikeouts. Today, just a single strikeout that came to Cervantes in the second inning. We saw that a little bit yesterday from Chris Torres. I talked to him today. He said that he felt good, but his off-speed pitches weren't working. It was only his fastball, and it allowed for the Saints to tee him up and time him up. And for Waitman, I'm not sure if that's the same thing for him, but it just seems like a lack of strikeout stuff on the variety of pitches. But he gets ahead to Dwight Allen. The count is 0-2, as that time he locates a changeup on the outside part of the plate. So that pitch, the changeup was working.
And Waitman, he's gotten a couple of strikes to a lot of the batters he just hasn't been able to execute.
The 0-2 elevated high, trying to induce a swing. It misses. The count 1-2. Dwight Allen, he's not someone that's going to go down without a fight. So far this season, Dwight Allen, he has been effective on the year. He has 19 strikeouts on the season. Watches a pitch outside, missed the zone. The count is 2-2. So he has been susceptible to striking out, but he also has that high on-base percentage, as we mentioned in his first at-bat, where that's the reason why he was named to the showcase game. It's because he's able to get on base in any variety of way. He has 10 walks this season, but he's going down looking. The second strikeout for Waitman as he froze up Dwight Allen. The second strikeout of the day leads to 1 out in the inning, and now with a runner on first base, the middle infield is going to go to double play depth.
And right there, that's a great response for Waitman. You have runners at the corners. You need an out because of the runners on the corners that you can turn to and potentially get out of the inning. Gets Allen to strike out looking, and now you have 1 out. You have a double play to work with.
First pitch fouled off by Austin Krizik. And we talked about him in terms of a spelling bee last time. His own head coach, when I asked him for pronunciations the last time we were here, he said, I don't know, I just call him iChart. Sounds about right.
Yep. I mean, it's a, gosh.
0-1 fouled off. Waitman ahead in the count 0-2. So he's been ahead with 2 strikes to every single batter he's seen so far this inning.
It's a S, a Z,
S-Z-C-Z-U-K.
Yeah, but an S, a Z, a C, and a Z all next to each other, 4 consecutively. That's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of consonants in there. I think he's 20/20 in terms of his vision. The 0-2 fought off, able to stay alive in the count. The runner at first base was going. It'll be interesting to see if he goes again. If this pitch is a ball, what Ants and Arrows will do. But Waitman right here, there couldn't be a better spot for him to get his 3rd strikeout of the day. He's up 0-2. His fastball and his changeup have been the two pitches that have been working. We haven't really seen him go to that slider or curveball much today. He uses his slider more than his curveball, if I remember what he told me correctly. The 0-2, outside part of the plate, misses. The throw back not in time. Good pick by Brendan Bobo to save that back pick from going all the way to the outfield. The count 1-2 to Krizik. TJ Foreman was backing up the play, but if that ball gets past Bobo at first, certainly a run is going to score with Cervantes on the corner. Middle infield double play depth. Big hole between first and second base, and now a 2-2 count is a changeup in the dirt, blocked by Arrows. Krizik, on the season, he has 12 strikeouts. He has 5 walks. He also has 10 RBI. Second RBI leader on the team. He has another RBI waiting for him at third base. Pickoff attempt back to first. Back in safely is Diaz.
Right now, Waitman, he's playing chess right now with Diaz on first. He's trying to keep him there. There's still one out. Ball grounded up the mid-infield. He could turn two.
The 2-2, swing, high fly ball behind home plate. Arrows giving it a look. He calls it, makes the play, and the runners don't advance, and 2 outs are gone. And Colton Freeman now up in a big spot.
And man, was that out huge for Waitman. And right now, he's gone back-to-back outs after putting the first 2 runners on with back-to-back singles, putting them at the corners. And now that's a huge play because now you can still get the third out at second base with the runner on first. If the runner does go and steal second base, then you still just got to get one more out to get out of the inning. And right now it looks like we might have a pitching change.
Dave Solis, he's coming out to the hill. We see Evan Gray in the bullpen for the Oaks, so if it is a pitching change, Evan Gray will be the man that's coming up. Waitman talking with Coach Solis, seeing if the ball is going to be handed over to him. Could just be a defensive play. Waitman, he's gotten the last 2 batters out, and he's going to stay in. Normally we see Coach Solis come out and take the ball away from Donovan Waitman or whoever pitcher is on the hill. Right here, it might be the first time all season where we haven't seen that.
You know, I was thinking that too. I think it is the very first time all season that Solis has walked out there and not pulled the pitcher. It's quite the interesting move.
Freeman, he's barreled the ball up twice today. He had a long fly out on the warning track in the first inning that was caught by Sandoval, and then a single in the third. He ended up coming around to score. First pitch off speed in the dirt. Arrows goes down to block. Count 1-0.
That's a huge stop for Arrows right there. He's saving a run, and he's done it consistently in the past couple of batters. Waitman, he's thrown some pitches in the dirt, and Arrows, he's been so good at stopping the ball behind the plate.
Waitman nods twice, pickoff back to first. Bobo retrieves it. And I think that it's safe to say that Anson Arrows is the best defensive catcher on the team. He's someone that, as a pitcher, if you're throwing balls in the dirt, probably the man you want back there to be able to block it. A lot of the pitchers, like a lot of the catchers, but Arrows, one of the better defensive blockers as the 1-0 misses high. It is now 2-0. So Waitman, he had 2 strikes to every batter, all 4 in the inning before this at bat to Freeman. But he's now behind 2-0. The 2-0 pitch misses low. So the count 3-0. There's no runner on second base, so a walk, not the worst thing in the world if he thinks that he wants to try his luck with the on-deck man in Clayton Owen. 3-0 pitch. Freeman looks at it, in at the knees for a strike. The count 3-1. So Waitman works his way back. At least doesn't let him go on just 4 consecutive pitches. He'll make Freeman work for it. Freeman will be sprinting down to first base if it misses the zone. This one lifted high in the air to shallow left center field. Naviak, Sandoval, Gregory converging. Sandoval makes the call, makes the play, and Waitman gets out of a jam after letting up 2 singles to start the inning. He leaves both those runners on, and no runs come around in the inning. We will head to the top of the 5th. The Oaks still trail by just 1 run. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. back here, top 5, new pitcher on the hill. It's Dalton Wood taking over for Cade Connolly. He's going to have to face off against 9-1-2 Carrillo Smith Bobo. Austin Carrillo, he squares the bunt right in front of home plate, but picked up in foul territory by Penso, the catcher. And Penso could have let that go fair, and it would have gotten Carrillo out because that ball had a weird angle to it. It probably would have bounced back in fair territory, and Carrillo, he thought it was going foul right away. He didn't get a jump out of the box. 0-1 the count nonetheless to Carrillo. Last time up, Carrillo, he struck out on 5 pitches. That was swinging. That was one of 6 strikeouts as he now goes down 0-2 to Dalton Wood. So 6 strikeouts for Cade Connolly in 4 innings pitched. 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 hit by pitches. So 5 base runners and 2 runs came across, both of them last inning in the 4th. The 0-2 misses outside the count 1-2. Dalton Wood, he is a junior from Rice University, has a 6.75 ERA on the year in 4 outings. He started 1 game, has given up a few runs, 5 of them on the season, struck out 9 batters in 6 2/3 innings pitched as Carrillo fouls it off out of play, stays alive. And so, in his 1 game against a CCL opponent on July 9th, that was against the Barons. That was a poor performance. He gave up 4 earned runs in just 2 innings pitched. And that was after a hiatus of just under a month. He pitched in 3 non-league games. The last non-league game he pitched in, June 13th. Carrillo watches a pitch, miss outside. Count 2-2 now. And so that's very interesting for Dalton Wood, where it was almost a full month off between outings. Pitched on June 9th, June 10th, started on June 13th, then didn't pitch again until July 9th.
Probably went through an injury.
2-2, misses low. Carrillo works the count full. He's seen 6 pitches in the at-bat. The Riptide, they don't like it. They thought that pitch should have been located at the knees and called a strike, but Carrillo, he had a good eye and watched it out of the zone, and now we'll see a payoff pitch. Wood is a right-handed pitcher, so new side of the plate that we're seeing for the Oaks. Carrillo lines one right back up the middle, a single to turn the lineup over. That's why he's in the 9 spot, and the leadoff man is on for the 3rd time today.
You could hear the cheers from the Oaks dugout. Carrillo gets on. They have the leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time today. And right now you have a speedy guy in Carrillo. And then Grant Smith, who's swinging the bat hotter than anybody on the Oaks right now, he comes up to the plate with a runner on. And, you know, exactly like you said, that's why he's in the 9 spot. He's turning over the lineup, and now you put a speedy runner on base for one of the hotter hitters in Grant Smith.
Yep, Grant Smith. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but he is swinging a hot bat as of late. Watches the first pitch in there for a strike to count 0-1. Smith struck out on a 5-pitch at-bat last inning, or excuse me, in the 3rd inning, his last time up. He opened up the game with a flyout. He's back in the 1 spot, batting leadoff. He was there for a majority of last week. Saw the last few games back in the 3 spot as he fouls off another pitch, goes down 0-2. But now, Coach Solis moves him back to the top of the order, and I don't think it's going to be consistent for anyone in any spot in the lineup. I talked to Coach Solis before the game, and he said that it all depends on the pitcher and the opponent and how we want to attack them depending on the day in terms of how the order of the lineup is worked out. So Smith now sees himself back at the top of the order. 0-2, Carrillo's going. Smith fouls off a pitch into the Riptide dugout. And so Austin's going to have to trek back to first, and Smith is going to have to trek back to the box as he's going to have to see another pitch.
You saw the Riptide, they ran with the hit-and-run situation. In the 3rd inning, they ended up scoring on an RBI single from Terrence Simmons on the pinch, or the hit-and-run opportunity. Right here, the Oaks, they're looking to have the hit-and-run opportunity. You have a speedy guy in Carrillo. He's taking off. Base hit could maybe send Carrillo to 3rd, and maybe a ball even deeper in the gaps. It could only get down for a single. With the hit-and-run, he could maybe come around and score.
Smith watches a pitch outside, misses the zone, the count 1-2. So we saw Carrillo get 2 strikes on him, then watch a few balls miss the zone to make himself get aboard. Smith is going to have to watch a few more as it's just 1-2. Grant Smith on the season, 13 strikeouts in conference play. Pickoff to first, gets away from the first baseman. Carrillo taking a big round around second, but he's just going to advance into scoring position with no one down. So that's the risk you pay when you pay attention to the runner at first. The pickoff gets away from the first baseman in Owen, and Carrillo now in scoring position with no one down in the inning.
And Carrillo right there was stealing on the previous foul off by Grant Smith. Now finds himself at second. It's a lot easier way, but he's still there. And now you have the hotter hitter for the Oaks with a runner in scoring position with a chance to potentially tie this game.
The 1-2, Smith swings, lines one into left field. It's going to get down. Carrillo rounding third. He's going to be waved home. The throw not going to come, and this game is tied up at 3. The Oaks, they're able to come back from a 3-0 deficit. They scored 2 last inning, 1 already in this inning, and get out of a few jams defensively to tie this game up, and that is just successful hitting, successful defense for the Oaks, and the last few innings have been a clinic.
And, man, what an at-bat for Grant Smith right there. Gets down 0-2, fouls off a pitch, gets a ball, and then comes back with a single after Carrillo advances to second on the passed ball thrown from Wood. And now we're all tied. What an at-bat.
Brendan Bobo rips one past the first baseman. It gets into right field. Smith going first to third, and so 3 consecutive singles lead off the 5th inning, and still no outs with runners on the corners.
Brendan Bobo right there. First pitch swinging again. We've seen him do it all season. That time rips a liner to right field, just out of the reach of the first baseman, Owen. You got to think Owen, a right-handed first baseman. Maybe if he's a left-handed guy, he can stick out his right arm and catch the ball. That time going across his body, could not reach out front of it. Bobo, he finds himself at first for the second time today, and now runners at the corners with nobody out. And Anson Arrows, probably the best hitter on this Oaks team at the plate.
He's 1 for 2 on the day. He doubled in the first inning, struck out in the third. Swings through the first pitch here. It was a weak swing. I don't think he wanted to go around, but he committed to it, so it's 0-1. And so we've seen 3 consecutive singles for the Oaks here. A very different game than we saw the first time in Orange County, where the Oaks, they dropped it 9-0. This game 3-3. Arrows swings through a pitch. Goes down in the count 0-2. 2 strikes on 3 batters now in the inning for Dalton Wood. He had 2 strikes to Carrillo, 2 strikes to Smith. Both of them got aboard with base knocks. Wood still trying for his first out of his outing. The 0-2 to the plate. Arrows flares one into shallow left field. Coming in is Krizik. It's going to drop. Another single, and Grant Smith is going to come across the plate. The Oaks, they take the lead. It's 4-3 on 4 consecutive singles.
And right there for Arrows, he was just battling, trying to fight off a pitch, got a little jammed inside, sent a flare to left field. Coming in was Krizik. He couldn't reach it in time. Grant Smith, who was at third, he didn't know if that was going to drop or if he had to tag up for third. It does drop, get away from Krizik, and now Smith comes in, and, man, what a turnaround for the Oaks. They're down 3-0, thinking maybe they're going to be a little bit defeated. But right now, coming out in this inning, 4 straight singles to start, and, man, they're just lighting up Dalton Wood.
A right-handed pitcher on the hill. He's going to see the 4th batter out of 5 from the left side of the plate as Zach Gregory steps to the ditch. First pitch misses the zone. The count 1-0. Anson Arrows, that was his first time batting lefty today, able to become successful. The first 2 times he batted righty against Cade Connolly. Zach Gregory today, he reached base and scored for the first run for the Oaks last inning. That was on a hit by pitch. He goes up 2-0 in this count, as that pitch misses high and away. First time up for Gregory, he flied out. Dwight Allen in center field was the man who made the play. Runner in scoring position, no one out in the inning. Arrows at first, Bobo at second. The 2-0. Gregory squares to bunt, puts one down, but it does not go fair, so the count is 2-1. Right there trying to advance the base runners. Tried to catch the third baseman in Dreiss off balance. Dreiss, he was shaded back, was not charging in. Gregory has speed out of the left-handed batter's box. So a bunt successfully down the third base line is probably going to put Gregory on first, and at the very least, it's going to advance the runners. Middle infield, double play depth, big hole between both first and second baseman and the shortstop and third baseman. Gregory swings away, lines one into right center field. Allen trying to track to it. He gets there. Bobo tagging. Arrows retreating back to first. One down in the inning, runners on the corners.
And Gregory right there sent a liner to center field. Allen was on the run as he made the catch on the line drive. It was a hard hit ball for Gregory. Definitely got a nice barrel on that one. Just a nice play by Allen in center field coming in. But with that, it advances the runner from second to third in Bobo. And now, with only one out, any fly ball in the outfield could potentially score Bobo from third, as you're already leading 4-3. You're sad with the out, but you're okay with the advancement from Bobo.
Yeah, and any ground ball with the speed of Foreman now in the batter's box is probably going to score, even if it is a fielder's choice to try to get arrows at second. First pitch into Foreman. Catches zone, a strike, the count 0-1. Foreman, he's reached base twice today. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Stole second as he led off that inning, but was stranded there. Then, in the fourth inning, what was credited as an infield single, then an error by the second baseman, as this one is rocketed into right center field. Right fielder coming down, makes the play. Bobo tagging, the throw up the line, and Bobo's going to head back to third. And so a fly out, shallow outfield, not going to advance the runner, and two quick outs in the inning as both fly outs into the outfield. That time the play was made by Simmons.
And that fly ball just wasn't deep enough for Bobo to score. You saw him take off towards the plate, then stop in his tracks. That throw was up the line, so potentially Bobo could have been thrown up out the line. If he gets past the catcher in time, because the ball was thrown up the line, I think he has a really good chance. I understand why they bring him back, especially with only one out or two outs after that, but still.
Melhoff watches the first pitch, missed the zone, a ball. Count 1-0. So we will continue to say it until it happens. Greg Melhoff still searching for his first hit as an Oak. He struck out 3 times now in his Oaks career. Twice of them came today. Swings through a pitch that was below the zone. Anson Arrows, he steals second base, so 2 runners in scoring position. Last time up, Melhoff, he struck out on a full count. First time up, he struck out on 4 pitches. Pepperdine product facing off against the Rice University man with 2 runners in scoring position. The Rice man bounces a pitch. It's 2-1. Dalton Wood, after having 2 strikes to 3 of the first 4 batters, has gotten behind to both Zach Gregory and Greg Melhoff.
That stolen base by Anson Arrows, that was his first stolen base in league play.
Melhoff watches a pitch. It's too far elevated, too far off the plate. 3-1 to Greg Melhoff. If this next pitch is a ball, sitting on deck is JT Naviak. Naviak a right-hander, Melhoff a left-hander. Hole between the second and first baseman on the right side of the infield. The 3-1, hitter's count. Melhoff grounds one to that right side. First baseman retrieves it, flips to the pitcher Wood, and the inning is over. But not before the Oaks take the lead after 2 runs come through on 4 consecutive singles to start the inning. 2 runners are left in scoring position, though, as the Oaks, they try to protect that 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Bottom of the 5th inning, new pitcher on the hill for the Oaks. It's Evan Gray. He's facing off against Clayton Owen to start out the 5th inning. First pitch, skied high on the left side. Melhoff gives it a look, but it's going to land out of play. Count 0-1. And so Donovan Waitman, I don't think he's going to be three-peating as player of the game in terms of his starts. Not a bad start for him by any means. 4 innings pitched, allowed 3 runs after he allowed 9 base runners. 7 of them came with hits, 2 of those being home runs, and then 2 strikeouts. So despite not having his strikeout stuff today, was able to maneuver around 4 innings of the Riptide lineup. Gray comes in, his second pitch, a ball. The count 1-1. Clayton Owen, so far today, flew out in the first, walked in the third. He was stranded on third base. He now sees the second ball of this count at his eyes. Count 2-1.
And Waitman, it was a decent performance. He's going to get credited for the win, potentially.
If the Oaks still hold the lead after Gray misses the zone for the 3rd consecutive ball, it's 3-1, and Evan Gray on the season, he boasts a 5.4 ERA. He has 14 strikeouts through 10 innings pitched, but he also has 9 walks. So a power pitcher, but sometimes can struggle with location, as he does right there, walks the first batter. The leadoff man is on for the Riptide. 4 consecutive balls to Clayton Owen to give him his second walk of the day.
And Evan Gray, he's had a hit-or-miss game, it seems like, all season. Some days he's really good, and some days he's just not had his stuff. Right now, just got to take things as they come, just deal with this inning, and try to extend the game even further with the Oaks leading. Does have that 2-0 record this season, and, you know, as of right now, your job, just don't let any runs come in. You have a 1-run game. I think it's pretty generic to say that for a reliever, but it's a big moment for him.
Blake Penso watches the first pitch, miss the zone low. The count 1-0. Penso, his first time up, a solo shot, home run to put the first run on the board for the Riptide. Last time up, he flew out to left field. Now he's trying to attack Evan Gray, and for Evan Gray, he's consistently given up 1 run in every single one of his outings. At least his last 4, as Penso lines one to left field, but right at Zach Gregory, who makes the catch. If that's in the gap, it's extra bases, and Owen is scoring. But it's right at Gregory, and good thing, too, because the Oaks record their first out of the inning without a runner advancing.
And that was a pop off of Penso's bat right there. Penso, he sent one over the fence earlier. That time it was another hard-hit ball that he barreled to left field. Gregory, he came over, made the play. It was a tough play, but he still made the easy out as he caught the fly out. And now, with 1 out, you improve it. And Gray, he's a step closer to getting out for this inning.
He's trying to get Terrence Simmons out for the first time today. Simmons, the second back-to-back of the solo shot home runs in the second inning, watches the first pitch miss outside for a ball. Then he came up with another RBI in the third. A 2-out piece of hitting with 2 runners on, was able to shoot one in the gap between Melhoff and Naviak on the left side of the infield. That was the last run that came through for the Riptide. This time he rockets one out to right field. Foreman gives it a look off the wall. Foreman not going to retrieve it. Sandoval does. The runner coming around third to throw in. Simmons digging for third. And Terrence Simmons has had new life in the second half of the season as the Riptide tied this game up at 4 apiece.
And Terrence Simmons right there, his 3rd hit of the day, has a single, a home run, and a triple. Now only a double away for the cycle here in the 5th. But, man, that one right off the wall. Foreman was climbing up the wall, went off of it. Because Foreman was climbing up the wall, he had slowed him down a little bit, allowed for the extra time for Simmons to head to third. And, man, what a day for him, and this game's tied.
Off the bat, I thought that was the second home run of the day. I thought that there was no doubt about that one. It was crushed off of his bat. That brings up Cody Drees. On the day, he is 0 for 1 with a walk. This pitch in the dirt gets away from Arrows, but he's able to pick it up before the runner at third is able to advance. So 1-0 the count. Arrows going to go talk to Evan Gray.
That was already the 7th ball thrown from Gray in this inning.
Just 10 pitches.
It's crazy.
2 of them were put in play.
Yep.
So 1 called strike, 7 called balls, and 2 balls put in play. And let's talk a little bit about Terrence Simmons, because in conference play this season, he just had 4 hits coming into today and 29 at-bats, only 1 extra base hit. He has doubled his extra base hits today as another pitch spiked in. Arrows blocks it, the count 2-0. He's almost equaled his hit total. You mentioned he is a double shy of the cycle. If he would get the cycle, that would have doubled his hit total on the entire season. Any hit for him today doubles his hit total for the season coming into the day. He had 12 strikeouts on the season. He's just seeing the ball well as Cody Treese goes ahead 3-0 in the count as Gray. He continues to throw balls. That is his 9th ball out of 12 pitches.
Just not a lot of command happening right now for Evan Gray.
The 3-0 in the zone for a strike, the count 3-1. And we mentioned it, that's been the problem for Evan Gray all season, especially in recent outings. His last 4 outings, he had 4 walks in 1 inning against the Barons. He got credited for the win in that game, but he did give up a earned run as a swing and a miss works the count full, so he's come back into the zone. That pitch a little bit elevated. Drees thought it was a little too juicy on a hitter's count, swung and missed, and now is a strike away from going down. He's had 7 walks in his last 4 outings. And he now has another walk in this inning. That is 2 so far today as he misses the zone on a full count. And runners on the corners with 1 down for the Riptide. And the Oaks right now, this is a game that they have to win. They have to win it to keep pace with Santa Barbara, as well as Slow and Arroyo Seco at the top of the standings. They have to win it to put some distance between them and the Riptide, because they're the teams that are competing right now. If the season would end today, the Riptide would be the first team out of the playoff picture, and the Oaks would be the last team in. That's going to bring up Efrain Cervantes. He singled to lead off last inning, struck out his first time up. Runners on the corners. First pitch to Cervantes, catches the zone for a strike, the count 0-1. So Evan Gray now trying to locate the zone.
This is his first pitch strike. Hasn't been ahead all day, and finally, on the 5th batter he faces, gets an 0-1 count.
Gray, the 0-1, bounces in, so it's now 1-1. Gray continues to struggle with the consistency of finding the zone, and at Arkansas, that wasn't really a huge problem for him. He didn't have a huge sample size in terms of his innings, but in 5 1/3 innings last season, he had just 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He allowed 6 hits, so he's forcing batters to put the ball in play, but he did have 6 wild pitches in that time as well. And this time he has another one. He bounces one in, a run's going to score, and the Riptide take the lead.
And right there for Gray, just spiked another ball. That one was way in front of the plate. Arrows, he didn't have any chance of that. That was a wild pitch from the get-go as he spiked it well before the plate. I think probably a feet or 2. And, Arrows, it's not really his mistake as the catcher. It was a bad pitch, and it allows for a run to come in. And Gray, coming into this inning, you have the lead. Now you give it up. Just not his day from the pitching standpoint.
No one coming up in the Oaks bullpen, so it's still Evan Gray's inning. Brushes back the batter. Ducking out of the way is Davis Diaz. Or, excuse me, it's still Efrain Cervantes. The count is now 3-1. Cervantes not happy about that. And as a batter, sending into a pitcher who's struggling to throw strikes, and the ball, really right now for Evan Gray, could probably go anywhere. He spiked a few balls. He's thrown one that's busted Cervantes in. I'm sure it's frustrating as a batter to try to stand in against a pitcher like that. And Evan Gray walks his 3rd batter of the inning. Spikes another pitch in. A 5-pitch walk. So he had a 5-pitch walk to lead off the inning. A 6-pitch walk to Cody Trice, and now 2 consecutive walks as Cervantes, the pitcher after Trice, he gets aboard with a base on balls.
So for Evan Gray right now, he's thrown 20 pitches. Only 4 of them have been for strikes. 2 of them have been put in play, and the rest have been balls. And now Radinsky, he's going to go and talk things over with Gray and try to get him settled as Now there's starting to be some action in the Oaks bullpen. Looks like Tobias Plotkin's starting to warm up.
Yeah, Plotkin warming up. Pitching coach Scott Rudinsky, he comes out to talk to Evan Gray. And it's just about location. And I've talked with pitching coach Scott Rudinsky, and he says he'd rather his pitchers throw balls in the zone and get crushed than walk the bases around. Evan Gray, he needs to find the zone, find the location, because Gray is one of the pitchers for the Oaks that comes in a lot of big spots. We've seen him this season in a few big spots. He came in against the Cubs in a one-run lead. He was able to hold, or with a two-run lead at that point, he was able to hold the lead, only gave up one run. Came in a big spot against the Blues. He gave up one run in a one-run loss. Came in against the Academy Barons, was credited for a win. He came in a big spot then. Now facing off against Davis Diaz at the bottom of the order. Watches his first pitch. Miss high. Count 1-0. 2 runners on. First and second base. Orange County, they lead 5-4 as the Oaks struggle to get out of the inning. This pitch grounded to third base. Melhoff steps on the bag at third. Throws to first. A double play to end the inning. So Greg Melhoff defensively gets the Oaks out of a jam, but not after Orange County is able to scratch 2 across off just 1 hit and leave 2 base runners on after 3 walks in the inning by Evan Gray. The Oaks are trying to come back again. Top of the 6th inning. They try to do their work when we come back on the Oaks live stream. Top of the 6th inning, JT Naviak is going to lead off the inning for the Oaks. New pitcher on the hill, throws one high and above the head of the catcher in Penso. The new pitcher is Josiah Castillo, so Dalton Wood, he just has 1 inning of action. He faced 7 batters, gave up 4 hits, all of them consecutive singles to lead off the inning. The 1-0 swung at and fouled off back into the screen. Naviak out in front. The count, 1-1. So that 1 inning for Wood was 26 pitches. The Oaks now in a similar spot where they found themselves last inning. As Naviak watches a pitch, missed the zone high, the count 2-1. Last inning, they were down coming into the inning, 3-2. They scratched across 2 runs to take a 1-run lead. But then those 2 runs were given up in the home half of the inning. Naviak ahead early, 3-1 in the count as that pitch misses the zone. And for the Oaks, This has kind of been a theme for them, at least over the last few weeks, as Naviak fouls off a pitch. I have a chance at it, I'm not going to get it. It's a full count.
I don't think you had a chance on that one, Ryan.
I didn't, but it was getting big in my eyes. My eyes got wide.
You know, it was close. It went over the wall that's right behind us.
It's a wall scraper. Full count. Naviak swings. Skies one into right field, going back in foul territory. Limited foul ground, but the play is made by Simmons. And the first out of the inning is recorded.
So what do you think, Ryan? A foul ball comes back here. There's this wall right here. I have my glove in my hand. Think I could get a wall robbery catch for a foul ball sometime?
Have to take off the headset.
It's true. What if I just book it and my headset falls?
Well, you're taking the equipment with you.
Oh.
If you book it with the headset, you're taking the equipment, and that's a no-no. Raul Sandoval watches the strike go by. He's down in the count 0-1, one out here in the top of the sixth inning. And like I mentioned, this has sort of been familiar territory for the Oaks, where in the middle innings, they tend to go down the 0-1 to Sandoval. In there in the zone for a strike, he goes down 0-2. So since the start of last week, that was July 6th, the Oaks, through the first 3 innings, are even. They give up 17 total runs. They scored 17 total runs as Sandoval lines one to right field. Simmons underneath it makes the play, barely has to move. Hard contact from Raul Sandoval, but not able to get down. Simmons has had a little bit of work to start out this inning, and we've seen Castillo get through his first 2 batters with 2 flyouts after 9 pitches. In the middle innings, the Oaks, they are outscored from July 6th, 13-8. And then in the final innings is where they do their damage. They outscore opponents 12-5. So the Oaks, they've been a consistent team finishing. Their pitching in the back half of games has been immaculate. And their run scoring in the back half of games has been significantly better than what we've seen from their opponents. But the middle innings has been where they've struggled to generate their offense. First pitch to Austin Carrillo, misses the zone for a ball, the count 1-0. It's a different story today, as the middle innings for the Oaks is where they've had all their offense so far. They did not score through the first 3. They scored all 4 in the 4th and the 5th. Carrillo trying to keep the 6th going as he watches the second ball. He's up 2-0. Carrillo so far today struck out to lead off the 3rd inning, but to lead off the 5th inning, singled, came around to score. That sparked a big 5th inning. And he lines one up the middle. Stop made by Diaz, throws to first, and the inning is over in 1-2-3 fashion. After just 12 pitches, Josiah Castillo gets off the bump, and the top of the 7th inning is coming up when we come back. Excuse me, the bottom of the 6th inning is coming up when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Bottom of the sixth inning, the Oaks, they trail by 1. 5-4 is the score. Tobias Plotkin, the new man on the mound for Conejo. Evan Gray, his day is done. He had just 1 inning. He walked 3 batters, gave up 1 hit, and gave up 2 runs. Plotkin facing off against the top of the order. Dwight Allen leading off the inning. Swings to the first pitch, grounds to the second base. Smith fields it, throws to first, and the first out on the first pitch for Tobias Plotkin.
And right there, that's what Plotkin wants. Told me that he's a weak contact hitter right there. First pitch he throws, weak contact to the second baseman, gets an out. That's really what Tobias Plotkin's really focused on, just getting outs, whether they be fast outs, quick outs based on that weak contact. Right there, perfect example.
He's now going to face off against Austin Krizik. First pitch into Krizik. Catches his zone for a strike. Count 0-1. Plotkin peppering the zone here to start. He has a 4.35 ERA on the season as the 0-1 bounces in for a ball. The count is 1-1. In his last few starts, Plotkin has been very effective, and he's really been effective the entire season outside of a few home runs that he's given up. He's allowed just a few hits on the season, just 5 runs. As he catches the zone for a strike, he goes up 1-2. So he's allowed 8 hits of the season, 5 runs, and if I remember correctly, 3 of those were long balls. One of them a big long ball against the Slow Blues, which ended up being the deciding factor in that game where Slow pulled off a big win. He gets a strikeout here. Arrows catches it. First strikeout of the day for Tobias Plotkin as Austin Krizik goes down swinging. So Plotkin right now attacking the strike zone. His 14th strikeout of the season. He's walked just 1 batter on the year. So a location pitcher, but one that has strikeout stuff because 13 strikeouts and 10 in the third. Impressive. He leaves the balls in the zone for the batters to hit, trusts his defense, and now he's going to have to do it with Colton Freeman at the plate. That time, he does not get the zone. Count is 1-0. Colton Freeman, so far today, he is 1 for 3, scored a run off of a single in the third inning. Count is even at 1-1 here as Plotkin catches the zone. The 1-1. Freeman thinks about it. Does he go? Checks the first base umpire. He says he did not. Freeman almost let himself commit. Didn't quite do it. They call that commitment issues. The 2-1, Plotkin gets a line ball, and Greg Melhoff makes the squeeze. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Tobias Plotkin on just 9 pitches as he gets out of it. The Oaks, they still trail, but will try to do their damage in the final third of the game. The 7th inning coming up when we come back on the Oaks live stream. Back here, top 7, Ryan Milano, Knight Uretsky, and Knight Uretsky is play-by-play man once again.
Thank you, Ryan. I enjoyed your 3 innings of play-by-play, and now Grant.
Not as much as I'm going to enjoy your 3 innings of play-by-play.
Thank you. Making me blush up here. Coming up to the plate is going to be Grant Smith. He's playing second base today. He's up for the 4th time. Now to face off against Josiah Castillo. The first pitch to Grant Smith misses away. 1-0 the count to Grant Smith, and mentioned 3 times up for Grant Smith. His last time, his biggest hit, that was a single in the 5th. That scored Austin Carrillo as the pitch misses away, 2-0. That hit tied the game as Carrillo came in, tied the game 3-3. Smith came around, he scored. He was the go-ahead run for the Oaks. But since that point, the Riptide, they've scored 2 runs, and the Oaks, they trail 5-4 as Grant Smith fouls away a pitch. It's now 2-1 the count to Grant Smith.
And tonight I have some unfortunate news. Yesterday, Grant Smith, in his day, he went just 1 for 3 in terms of his on-base percentage. That broke a streak of 2 times on base.
Pitch is swung on and missed by Grant Smith, 2-2.
He had reached base twice in every game since he became the leadoff pitcher, actually the leadoff hitter, actually since the game before he became the leadoff hitter. There's a streak of about 8 games in a row. Came to an end.
The 2-2 pitch. Smith early fouls it out of play by the third base side. So 6th pitch coming to Grant Smith, 2-2 the count. And although that streak ended, he still has another streak of his own with the single today. That's 8 straight games with a hit for Grant Smith. Now looking for his second hit of the day. He's 1 for 3. The pitch, that one hits Grant Smith. Takes it on the shoulder with stride, headed to first, and the leadoff man's aboard for the Oaks.
And for Smith right there, that doesn't hurt him. Breaking ball that caught him on the inside part of the plate, and he was behind in the count. He was battling right there. It was a long at-bat. So for him to get aboard on an off-speed pitch, he'll take 70 on the shoulder every day. Maybe he's going to start a new 2 on-base streak, because that's the second time on today.
Yep. Reached on his last 2 times, a single and a hit by pitch. First pitch to Brendan Bobo. That one misses. Fastball away. Almost got behind the catcher, Benzo. But 1-0 the count to Brendan Bobo. And Bobo today, he's reached base twice. Once on a walk and once on a single. That single was in the 5th. As the second pitch to Bobo is in there for a strike. Count even 1-1. Prior to that, he did fly out. So 1 for 2 today for Bobo, but has reached twice. That single that he had, it was a line drive right to right field. As Smith on first, the pitch to Bobo, that one misses away. 2-1. That hit to right field, similar situation. Grant Smith was at first base. He advanced to third on the play. But now a 2-1 count, nobody out, and runner on first. Swing and a miss from Bobo. Counts even 2-2.
And so last inning, the inning was so fast for Castillo, I never actually gave any of his lines. On the season, he's pitched 9 2/3 innings. He has a 7.44 ERA.
The 2-2 pitch. That one misses away. And now the 6th pitch coming to Brendan Bobo. It's a full count with a runner on first.
That ERA is inflated. In his last outing, he gave up 4 runs off of 10 hits to the Barons. In his 6 outings, 3 of them, he hasn't given up any runs.
The payoff pitch. Bobo, ground ball to right field. Tapping on second and staying there is Grant Smith. Fielding it is Simmons. And the first 2 batters are aboard for the Oaks. Runner in scoring position. And coming up to the plate, Anson Arrows.
And this looks like a new Brendan Bobo today. He has been seeing the ball better at the plate. His plate discipline has been better. He swung at 1 or 2 pitches that were balls, but he's been barreling balls up. We've seen him a few times this season try to golf some out and get underneath them. He flew out to start off the game, and it looked like it was going to be a trend of the same, but he lined one into right field in the 5th. Now a ground ball that gets through in the 7th. In the 3rd, he worked the count for a long time, was able to get aboard with a walk. 3 consecutive great at-bats for Bobo.
Arrow shows bunt, pulls back. Ball misses. 1-0 the count to Anson Arrows. And going back to that point on Brendan Bobo, We joked before the game, him in the 2 spot, that he's such a contact hitter. He should be there. Today, he's really showed it. 2 singles and a walk. Second pitch to Arrows, in there for a strike. Showed bunt again, pulled back. That one was called for a strike. The count even 1-1 to Anson Arrows.
Yeah, and you think with Brendan Bobo on, you want him to be on with a lot of runners on base because he's a big RBI threat. He's such a big power bat. But today he's just getting on any way you can.
Castillo steps off the mound. Heading back to second is Grant Smith. Back to first is Brendan Bobo. At the dish is Anson Arrows. The 1-1 count. Nobody out for the Oaks here in the top of the 7th inning. 5-4 the score. The Riptide, they're leading. It's been a back-and-forth game. As the 1-1 pitch, Arrows shows bunt, pulls back. The ball misses. 2-1 the count to Anson Arrows.
And so Arrows right now, he's trying to advance the runners. With 2 runners on and no outs in the inning. We saw him in the exact same situation last time. He went down in the count 0-2, then flared a single out to left.
Infield coming in. Arrows pulls back the bunt, swings. It's a high pop-up in the infield. Going back is Diaz. Shallow right field. Diaz makes the play. Retreating back to second is Smith. Back to first is Bobo. And now 1 is gone here in the 7th.
Yeah, and Anson Arrows was just trying to do too much there. And I think he'll tell you that too. He was trying to confuse the defense. He squared the bunt very early. The dugout for the Riptide was calling out the bunt. Anson Arrows on the previous bunts, he squared late. I thought it was obvious there, at least from my perspective, he was going to pull back and swing away on that pitch because of the early square. Then he pulls back, skies one. And that's just not a great piece of hitting for Anson Arrows, who today has been driving the ball. 2 hits already on the day. You want to have him swing away.
First pitch to Zach Gregory, misses outside, 1-0. Gregory today, he was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the 4th. But other than that, a fly out to center field and a line out to center field. But up to the plate with 1 out and 2 runners on. Castillo on the mound. The pitch. That one's called a strike. Count even 1-1 to Gregory. And Gregory right now needs a hit badly. The Oaks, they trail by 1. Grant Smith on second base in scoring position. Brendan Bobo, he's on first. TJ Foreman, he's on deck. As Castillo, the right-hander, on the mound. The pitch. That one breaks low, below the knees. 2-1 to Zach Gregory.
At night, it's been a while since Zach Gregory got a hit. Guess the last time that Zach Gregory got aboard with a base hit.
Ooh, I'm going to say 6 games ago.
7 games ago. It was July 4th, the 2 home run game that he had.
That one's fouled away by Gregory, count even 2-2. Man, so close, just 1 off.
Yeah, so the last game that he got a hit was that July 4th game, at least according to the CCL stats here. We know that the stats aren't always completely accurate. Zach Gregory, he keeps his own stats. So he might tell you that it's not as long of a deficit. But in my book, or in the CCL's book, the last time he got a hit was that 2 home run performance, and that was in non-league play.
Pitch to Gregory. This one's lifted high in the air. Shallow left center field. Coming in is Allen. He falls, and going to third now is Smith. Heading to second is Bobo. They're there safely. And a miscue by Allen in center field. Gregory on to first. It's got to be credited an error, right?
Yeah, that's an error. You want to give him the hit, but that's an error. That's a play that you think that Dwight Allen is going to make. And that's huge right now for the Oaks. That is ginormous. Allen, he gets up. He's okay. He slips, so no damage done. But damage done on the field as Gregory's aboard. Bases are loaded. And now TJ Foreman, he comes up. This is the second time today that he's come up with runners in scoring position and just 1 out. He was not able to advance the runners last time. This time, trying for a different result.
So, there was 12 pitches thrown last inning by Castillo. Right now, in this inning, he's thrown 21 pitches. Has a bases-loaded situation with 1 out for Foreman. First pitch to TJ Foreman in there for a strike. 0-1, and Foreman today, he had a single in the 4th. He reached on a hit by pitch his first time up in the 2nd, but flew out in the 5th inning. Up in a big spot here. Down by 1, bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch from Castillo. Foreman, line drive to right field. Simmons comes over, makes the play, drops it momentarily. None of the runners will come in. Smith, he stays at third. Now 2 are gone.
And that's poor base running by Grant Smith. He thought that ball was going to get down. It was on a rope to right field. It was perfect positioning by Simmons. He was playing close to the line. Smith, he had to take a step back. His momentum wasn't on the bag, and that is the mistake by Grant Smith. That ball would have been a close play on the tag by Smith. I wonder if he would have gone anyways, but he didn't even give himself a chance.
So now Greg Melhoff, he steps up to the plate, had a couple of nice plays today at the third base side, forced a double play and also caught a line out. Now in a big spot batting, the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch to Melhoff, that one misses away. 1-0, and Melhoff today, he's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out to first. Still looking for his first hit as a Conejo Oak. We keep mentioning it. Wouldn't it be a big spot here? Second pitch to Melhoff, in there for a strike, count even 1-1.
I don't even think big is a big enough word to describe it.
Huge.
Gargantuan.
Spell that, Mr. Spelling Bee.
Garguantin. Gargantuan.
All right. The 1-1, swing and a miss from Melhoff.
There's no I in gargantuan.
So
I spelled it wrong.
You were off. Oh. Okay, Mr. Spelling Bee. 1-2 the count. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Castillo, he's on the mound. Melhoff at the plate. He's set. Castillo is. The pitch. That one's a fastball that misses away. Count even 2-2 to Greg Melhoff. Grant Smith at third after he was hit by a pitch to start this inning. Brendan Bobo, he singled. Anson Arrows, he flew out. Zach Gregory reached on an error and a line out for Foreman, and now we're here. Fouled away by Melhoff as he stays alive. We'll do the 2-2 again. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming to Melhoff.
In this moment, it feels similarly as big as the Cody Sulak 2-out bases clearing double that he had in San Luis Obispo. Not quite as big, but it's on that same par. It's one of the bigger at-bats of the season.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Melhoff's down, and that'll do it for the 7th inning, or the top of the 7th inning. 3 runners left stranded on just 1 hit and 1 error. We head to the bottom of the 7th. The Riptide, they're hanging on to their lead. It's 5-4. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. We got a close one here in Orange County. 5-4 the score. The Riptide, they're leading. And, man, what an inning for Josiah Castillo. Had the bases loaded, 1 out, and able to get out of the jam. No runs come in the top of the 7th. Tobias Plotkin back on the mound for the Oaks as he steps off the mound. Back on, trying to preserve this game, make it still a 1-run game heading into the 8th. As the first pitch from Plotkin, that one misses to Clayton Owen, the first baseman. 1-0 the count. Plotkin, his first inning, and his last inning in the 6th. Only 9 pitches and 3 outs, including a strikeout. Second pitch from Plotkin, that one misses again. 2-0. Owen today, he's 0 for 1, has 2 walks, though. Came around to the third base side in the third. He was left stranded there as third straight ball from Plotkin. 3-0 the count to Owen, and he has a chance here for his third walk of the afternoon.
Yeah, and a different start to this inning as we saw for Plotkin at the start of last inning.
The 3-0, that one catches the zone, so 3-1 the count to Clayton Owen, the first baseman. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Plotkin, the 3-1 pitch. This one skied into center field, coming over is Sandoval to his right side, calling for it, and that one's going to get down. It looked like Sandoval lost it in the lights. Gregory was also coming over. Nevertheless, Owens on second and nobody out.
And Gregory almost made a great play. Sandoval lost it in the lights. He didn't see it, and Zach Gregory, he full extension and went off the webbing of his glove, and he just wasn't able to retrieve it. But almost a great play by Zach Gregory. It results in a runner on second base, and now 2 big miscues by the center fielders in big spots. Last time, Dwight Allen, he lost a ball with 2 runners on and allowed everyone to advance to make the bases loaded with 1 out in the inning. In the last half inning for the Oaks on offense, the Riptide were able to get out of it. Now Plotkin has a runner in scoring position after a bit of a defensive miscue in center field by Sandoval.
The first pitch to Blake Penso. That one is a ball that misses. So Plotkin in this inning, he's thrown 4 balls on 6 pitches. 1 was sent in play, 1 was called a strike. The 1-0. Penso swings, and this one's fouled in the air, headed towards the upper deck, and man, that hit up here.
That was very close. I saw it off the bat, and I thought it was going to go in play, and then it just kept coming and coming and coming, and it hit off the bar about 20 feet from us.
Yeah, or so.
It was on the level. Some of the interns for the Riptide were sitting over there. All of them are okay, as well as all their computers.
It's all that matters. 1-1 the count. The pitch to Penso. Off speed. Got him looking. That one's called for a strike. Count now 1-2 to Penso. And Penso today, he's had a couple of hard hit balls. 1 was sent over the left field fence. That was the first run of the game, a solo shot for him. But since then, 2 flyouts to left field. So every ball he's hit up in the air towards left. This time he sends it a blooper to right field. Heading over to third is Owen. And now runners at the corners with nobody out for the Riptide.
Yeah, and right there, just muscles one out off the end of the bat. Grant Smith was playing the pull side to a right-handed hitter. But typical defensive alignment, if there was no shading, Smith probably would have been right there. But the Oaks, they've benefited from that defensive shade more than it's hurt them. But right there in a big spot, it does hurt them.
So now Terrence Simmons steps up to the plate. He's a double away for the cycle. Ryan, do I have your permission to call it now? Say he's a double away from the cycle.
Well, I just don't like cycle talk in general until it happens. It's just so hard to get. I mean, with Reagan Burford, I think you got lucky. But here, I mean, Terrence Simmons, a double is one of the easier things to get, so maybe. I'll allow it.
First pitch to Simmons. That one misses away. 1-0, and I'll take your consent this time. So
it's begrudging consent.
Simmons led off in the second with a home run, then had an RBI single in the third. His last time up, a triple that was off the right field wall. And now he stands in with runners on the corners, nobody out, and an 0-1 count. The pitch from Plotkin. In there for a strike. He had a 1-0 count. The count even 1-1 now.
Did you just mimic the strike call from the home plate umpire when the strike came in?
No, not at all.
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh,
My mistake.
Be a cool thing to do. Pitch from Plotkin. That one misses. 2-1. It's actually, I think, just putting my pencil in my hand.
They all look the same.
You know, it is what it is. 2-1 the count, though. Terrence Simmons at the plate. Runners on the corners. You have Owen on third. And Penso, he's at first. The pitch from Plotkin. That one misses, a ball. So now 3-1 the count to Simmons. And Plotkin on the mound in a big moment here. Nobody warming up in the Oaks bullpen. Plotkin got himself in this jam. He's going to have to get himself out of it.
Well, I'm not sure if he got himself in it.
It's true.
Fly ball that probably should have been an out and then a weak single.
Pitch to Simmons. That one misses. So Simmons, he'll head to first on a walk, reaching for the 4th time today. And now the bases are juiced with nobody out. And Cody Dreiss coming up to the plate.
And now he's got 4 of the 5 of the Burford cycle.
The
super cycle.
The super cycle. Yes, there you go. It's no longer the Burford cycle. We wanted to trademark it. Found out it already had a name. Can still trademark 000 though.
We can still trademark 000. Entrepreneurs over here in the booth.
First pitch to Dreiss misses. 1-0, and you know, part-time broadcasters, full-time entrepreneurs, it feels like. So Dreiss today steps up, walked twice today. Had a fly out to the third baseman, though. This time he fouls away a pitch. The count even 1-1 to Dreiss.
And yes, Phil Call, to answer your statement, he does have a single today. Terrence Simmons does. He also has a triple and a home run, so he is a double away from the cycle. And then, to respond to the Sandoval's comment, I think we all would prefer a double play. Now I think we prefer a force out at home.
Pitch misses, so now 2-1 the count to Cody Dreiss. What was the question in reference?
Well, there was no question, but Phil Call, Hunter's dad, he said that he saw a single on the stat sheet for Simmons, and then the Sandoval said that they prefer a double play.
This one's grounded just foul down the third base line. Dreiss was headed towards first. Melhoff was chasing to the third base side. It just went foul just beyond the bag. And we'll do it again with the 2-2 count now.
And what would you be rooting for here if you're the Oaks? Would it be a play at the plate and a force out at home, or would it be a double play? What's the best result?
Well, the best result's a triple play.
Best result is a triple play.
A 5-4-3 triple play. That would
Strikeout's also just as good. There are
be
four
then
really
a triple
good
play.
Well, no, not as a triple play.
The 2-2 got him looking. There's your strikeout, Ryan. And now one is gone with the bases loaded.
Takes out the possibility for the triple play.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, there will be no triple play today.
19 pitches in the inning for Tobias Plotkin. The first out, though, after the first 3 batters reached. Now Efren Cervantes, the shortstop, steps up to the plate. Bases still loaded. 1 out. Owen on third. Penso on second. And Simmons, he's on first. The first pitch to Cervantes, grounded to Smith. The second baseman turns, throws to the shortstop. Naviak can't make it. Coming in to score now is Owen. Bases still loaded, but almost a phenomenal play by Grant Smith.
Yeah, and Tobias Plotkin, he was trying to one-up Josiah Castillo, who got out of a bases-loaded one-out jam last inning. He was trying to get out of a bases-loaded no-out jam, and he had the play to do it. Ground ball to Smith. He tried to turn 2, and JT Naviak could not hold on to the ball. The throw brought him a little bit off the bag, but right there, the Oaks almost got out of a huge jam, and they're still inside of it.
So a run comes in to score. 6-4 the score now. The Riptide, they're leading. The first pitch from Plotkin is in there for a strike to Davis Diaz. Count 0-1. And
who do you credit that error to? Is it the throw by Smith, or is it the reception by Naviak?
I have no clue. Maybe the throw?
I think it has to be the throw by Smith.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. 0-2 the count now to Davis Diaz. And although it's credited as an error, that was probably one of the best defensive plays I've seen all season. Smith caught it as he was running towards his left side, then turned on the run, spin, and threw it to second.
Well, it would have been one of the best plays if it would have been successful.
Yeah, almost.
I mean, the reception was cool.
The 0-2. Ball bounces in the dirt. 1-2 now. I did not expect him to turn that quickly and throw it to second. It was a heck of a quick move to shift the hips.
Well, I did, if you're trying to prevent a run from coming across. I thought that he was going to try to turn 2.
Yeah, but I didn't know that Grant Smith could do that quickly. The pitch from Plotkin misses low. 2-2 now.
What do you expect? He's an athlete.
Well, yeah, but, we've seen Grant Smith all around. We haven't seen him in the second base spot a lot. We've seen him there sometimes, but, playing the second base position, trying to turn two, you have to get the hips shifted quickly. And right there, he did it super fast as this one sent into center field. Heading back is Sandoval. He's at the track. He makes the catch. Tagging are all the runners. Coming in to score now is Penso, and the lead is now 7-4 for the Riptide.
And that's just a deadly turn of events for the Oaks. You think you get out of the inning with a double play. The throw just takes Naviac a little bit off the bank. It allows 2 more runs to come across, and now it's a 3-run deficit instead of a 1-run deficit with a lot of momentum. And they're still in a jam.
So 2 runners in scoring position. You have Terrence Simmons, he's on third. Efren Cervantes, he's on second. Up to the plate now, leadoff man Dwight Allen, he had a error in the outfield last inning for the Riptide. At the top of this inning. It didn't end up costing the Riptide any runs. But now a chance to drive 2 runs in with a 3-run lead and 2 outs, facing off against the left-hander in Tobias Plotkin. Pitch from Plotkin. In there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Dwight Allen. Allen today, he's 0 for 4. A line out in the first, a ground out in the second, a strikeout looking in the fourth, and a ground out to second base last inning in the sixth. The 0-1. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Count even 1-1.
He thought about it, but he wasn't able to go around. And Dwight Allen right now is the only player right now for the Riptide that has not gotten on base, and he is one of the most effective hitters, at least on the season to this point, for them. So an uncharacteristic day for Allen where the rest of the team has been effective at the plate.
Pitch from Plotkin in there for a strike. It's called. Count now 1-2 to Dwight Allen. Allen in his previous at-bats, he's had 2 strikes in 2 of them. So 3 out of his 5 at-bats, he's faced 2 strikes. With the 2 strikes, he has a ground out and a strikeout looking. Times is called. Plotkin, he's still set on the mound. Now he steps off. Now he's back on. I think he was really locked in.
He always is locked in. He's one of the staff. He's one of the staff stashes. One of the mustache mafia.
The 1-2, that one misses away. 2-2. Now Ryan, are you a fan of the mustache mafia or stash?
I'm a fan of both.
Or the staff stashes?
Well, I came up with mustache mafia. Nick Rinkover came up with staff stashes.
I think staff stashes is my go-to.
I mean, I'm picking the one that I came up with.
The 2-2 with 2 outs. Allen grounds this to third. Melhoff picks it. The throw over to first in time, and the inning is over. So 2 runs come in, 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the 8th inning. The Oaks, they now trail by 3. It's 7-4. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by YouTube. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you here in Orange County. 7-4 the score after the Riptide scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. JT Naviak, he's going to lead it off for the Oaks. He's followed by Raul Sandoval and Austin Carrillo. New pitcher on the mound for the Riptide as the first pitch to Naviak. He grounds it to the second baseman, Diaz. He throws over to first, and the play is made on the first pitch to Naviak. The new pitcher on the mound, Jake Biederman, the right-handed pitcher from Austin, Texas. And already 1 pitch and 1 out for him.
Josiah Castillo's final line. He allowed 2 base. Actually, he allowed a lot more than that. But he had 2 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit by pitch, 1 strikeout. And then a few runners came on. Actually, only 1 more. That was with an error by Dwight Allen.
First pitch to Raul Sandoval. That one misses inside. 1-0. And Biederman this season, he has a 5.40 ERA. His last time he came into pitch, that was against the Arroyo Seco Saints. That was July 6th. You have 3 runs on 4 hits in that game. Second pitch to Sandoval. That one misses and finds the backstop. Has got past Penso, the catcher. Count now 2-0 to Sandoval. But overall in the season, a 1-0 record with a 5.40 ERA. In 10 innings pitched, he has 8 strikeouts, and he's walked 3 batters while giving up 14 hits. Sandoval fouls one over our heads and out of the park. Count now 2-1 to Raul Sandoval as Ryan Milano, my co-broadcaster, was jumping up trying to snag that one. It's a little bit too far out of his reach.
I don't have the vertical, man.
Yeah. The 2-1 pitch. That one misses high. It's now 3-1 to Raul Sandoval. So, 1 out after JT Naviak grounded out to the second baseman Diaz. But a 3-1 count to Raul Sandoval. The pitch from Biederman. Swing and a miss from Sandoval. And the count is full at 3-2. And Sandoval today, his hitting struggle still continuing. A fly out to center and 2 flyouts to right. His last one was a liner to the right fielder Simmons, but now has a full count with 1 out and facing off a righty-righty matchup against Biederman. The payoff pitch. Sandoval skies one foul to the right field side. We'll do the 3-2 again.
And Sandoval's been barreling up a few balls today. That one goes out of play, but he's been hitting the ball hard.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming from Biederman. Sandoval, his little shake and shimmy at the dish. The pitch fouls it away. Second foul off from Sandoval, and we'll do the 3-2 again. Now the 8th pitching coming up.
9th pitch coming up.
9th pitch, yes.
Seen 8 pitches.
9th pitch, yes.
And Sandoval, he's trying to battle. We've talked about him as a strikeout threat this season, but he's trying to improve his walk total.
Is not going to improve his walk total as he strikes out. And that's his first strikeout of the game. He's 0 for 4 now. Second out of the inning for Biederman. First strikeout of the game for him. And a 9-pitch at bat ends in a K, and 2 are gone here in the 8th.
Keeping up with the rest of the California Collegiate League in the South, there's just one other game active today. That is the Blues against the Arroyo Seco Saints. That is in San Luis Obispo. It is tied at 2 apiece, headed into the bottom of the 5th inning. That's your California Collegiate League Sports Desk update.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate the Sports Desk update. First pitch to Austin Carrillo. That one misses. 1-0. And if you're wondering why we're laughing, Ryan Milano does Sports Desk updates at the University of Oregon at our radio station, KWVA. Definitely have been on some softball calls and heard Ryan Milano give a Sports Desk update. And right there brought back all the nostalgia. Second pitch to Carrillo. That one misses again. 2-0 the count.
This one was much less complete than a lot of my softball sports desks.
You're phenomenal at the Sports Desk update, by the way, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
I've actually never heard you do a sports desk update. Have you ever done a sports desk update?
No, because I wasn't allowed to produce.
Oh, that's tragic.
The 2-0, that one misses. 3-0. Yeah, I wish I could have produced also, but, you know, COVID.
You'll be elite. You'll be an elite sports desk updater.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to take your job for best sports desk update. I'm just competitive. That's just the nature.
To take my job, you have to take the guy who's in front of me.
Who's in front of you? Pitch to Carrillo in there for a strike. 3-1 now.
I think there's a few guys in front of me. Sean McPherson, he has a shout. Jordan Brenner has a shout. Jordan's gone. Michael Stride
Jordan's
has
gone.
a shout. Michael's gone. So I think Sean.
Sean give good sports desk updates?
Sean is an elite level producer.
Fouled off by Carrillo. Count full, 3-2.
This is really inside baseball right now.
Really inside the radio station at University of Oregon, KWVA. Go check us out, 88.1 FM Eugene.
Yeah, if you're ever in Eugene, if you're ever wanting to listen to an Oregon call, you know where to find it.
Back to this game. Full count, 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Biederman on the mound. The pitch to Carrillo. Fouled off. And we'll do the 3-2 again. Had a 9-pitch at-bats. Raul Sandoval that featured a full count. And right now, that was the 6th pitch of this at-bat to Carrillo. 7th pitch incoming. And 2 outs with nobody on for Biederman.
Biederman, a 5.4 ERA and 10 innings pitched this season. He has 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and has allowed 14 hits in that time.
Carrillo grounds one to the shortstop, Cervantes. He throws over to first, and the play is made, and that'll do it for the top of the 8th inning. 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks batting-wise. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-4 the score. The Riptide, they lead. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the 8th inning. Tobias Plotkin still on the mound for the Oaks. The big left-hander still out there after giving up 2 runs the last inning. First pitch from Plotkin here in the 8th. That one's low. Misses for a ball. 1-0 the count to Austin Krisnick. Krisnick, the left fielder today, has seen some action in the left field side. But today, he's 1 for 4. He now lines one to Naviak. He tried to pick it, goes off of his glove, and heading to first with a single now is Krisnick.
Yeah, and Krisnick right there, hard hit ball, almost through the hole. Naviak able to get a glove on and keep it in the infield. Not able to squeeze it well enough to get the out.
So now coming up to the plate, Colton Freeman, the DH, with a runner on first and nobody out. See Grant Smith, the second baseman, starting to shade over. Play that double play depth. 11th hit of the day for the Riptide. 7 runs on those 11 hits. 8 hits for the Oaks, only 4 runs in the afternoon. First pitch to Freeman. That one catches the zone. Strike. 0-1.
Knight, I think the question that everyone wants answered is, when are you going to join the Mustache Mafia?
I can't grow a mustache. I can grow a beard like nobody else, but my ginger self, I can't grow a mustache that well. As this one's grounded to Grant Smith. Double play depth, throws over to Naviak to first. Double play, they got it. And was mentioning it before the pitch. Grant Smith was at second base getting shaded over for that double play. Flips the hips, throws to second, and there's two gone.
And that is really tragic for Colton Freeman. Because not only did he ground into a double play, he also broke his bat.
That's 2 L's in 1 at bat.
Really 3. 1 L per out and then
There you
1
go.
L for the bat. If you're the Sandoval's, you want to make the most of it. If he wants to donate it to the Sandoval's, it could be more firewood.
There you go. You can enjoy the firewood festivities with that broken bat. But yes, Ryan, to answer your question, I can grow a beard. I can't grow a great mustache yet. How about yourself? Can you grow a mustache?
You know, I haven't seen your mustache. I would like to say my mustache is average.
This one's line to right field. Foreman giving chase on the run, makes the play, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tobias Plotkin in an unconventional way. And we head to the 9th inning. The Oaks, they're looking to stay alive. It's 7-4 here in Orange County. We'll be right back after this break. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the 9th inning. The Conejo Oaks, they're trailing by 3. It's 7-4 here in the 9th. And now Andrew Pogue, the man that's going to look for the save for the Riptide. It's his first save appearance all year for the Riptide. And he set off to face the top of the order for the Oaks. Grant Smith, Brendan Bobo, and Anson Arrows. And that's his tough task for him. But with a 3-run lead, he's looking to preserve it. And we're about to get set for the top of the 9th inning. Righty on righty matchup. The first pitch to Grant Smith. This one's grounded to the second baseman Diaz. Picks it up, throw over to first, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Pogue.
And Pogue, he reminds me a lot, at least his stat sheet does, of Evan Gray, where he's a high-volume pitcher that gets a lot of strikeouts, 22 over 20 innings pitched. But he also has 15 walks in that time as well, more walks than he's allowed hits on the season. So he's given up a few runs in his outings when batters have let the ball come deep and let the counts go deep, but Grant Smith right there, first pitch swinging.
Brendan Bobo, the first pitch he saw, he showed bunt, pulled back. It was in the dirt. 1-0 to Brendan Bobo. This season, Pogue, you mentioned the strikeouts and walks and also the hits. He has a 3.60 ERA in 9 games pitched. Has one decision on the year. That was a win against the Barons on June 24th. Second pitch to Bobo. That one misses. So 2-0 the count to Brendan Bobo. Pogue, the last time he pitched, that was against the Foresters on July 10th. It went 1 2/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits and 1 earned run, while also walking 3 and striking out 1 against 10 batters he faced. The 2-0 to Bobo. That one bounces in the dirt. 3-0 the count now. So 3-0 the count. Brendan Bobo at the plate. The windup, the pitch. The 3-0 take was on for Bobo. It's called a strike. 3-1 now.
Yeah, and right there, Brendan Bobo. That's a smart take. It's right there where you see Andrew Pogue so far on the season, a big walk pitcher. We brought it up a lot in the beginning of this outing. Just let these pitches come to you.
The 3-1. Bobo, ground ball to right field. That's a single. And with 1 out, the Oaks have a runner on, and they're still alive.
And right here, now that they've seen Andrew Pogue a little bit, I think that the scouting report is on now. Where Grant Smith, he was first pitch hunting, trying to make something happen. Now we see the Oaks, after Brendan Bobo let a count get deep, where Pogue struggled to find the strike zone. They know that this is a pitcher that, if at least isn't a perfect strike-throwing location type of pitcher. He's someone that does have a lot of walks on the season. And in the CCL, you don't scout a lot of these guys. But right now, Arrows, he should have been watching that last at-bat and knows that he was struggling with throwing strikes.
First pitch to Arrows, in there for a strike, 0-1. Brendan Bobo with that single. That's his 3rd straight single in this game. He also reached on a walk, so reaching base 4 out of the 5 times he's been up today. 0-1 the count to Arrows. The pitch swung on and missed from Arrows, and he gets behind now 0-2.
And right there, a pitch that dropped out of the zone. It was a changeup that missed low. Arrows was fooled by it. And now we see ahead of the count is Pogue, and now he has room to work.
The 0-2, Arrows grounds that one foul. We'll do the 0-2 again. And Brendan Bobo, he's on first base. He's from Cal State Fullerton, which is just up the road here in Orange County. Also see the super fan, Keith Franklin, who is a Cal State Fullerton super fan. He's here at the game. He's making some noise as the 0-2 pitch. That one misses away, 1-2. And if you don't know who Keith Franklin is, go look him up.
Well, right now he's cheering for the wrong team.
Right now he's cheering for the Riptide. He's from Orange County. Originally started at UC Irvine. They wouldn't let him come to the games anymore because he was making too much noise, and then he switched his alliance to Cal State Fullerton.
That's a mistake by the Anteaters.
Yes, absolutely. Swing and a miss from Arrows, and now 2 are gone for the Oaks. You can hear Keith Franklin.
What did he say to Anson Arrows?
He was screaming at Anson Arrows saying, "You're a warrior. You've been battling all game. Be proud of yourself despite striking out here in the 9th inning." But
so he's not a homer. At least he
no,
shows appreciation to everyone.
He's a really great guy.
He's just very loud and aggressive in the way that he does it.
Pitch misses outside to Gregory, 1-0. And yes,
I need a timeout.
Keith Franklin, look him up. This guy dresses up as a Titan, goes to the Cal State Fullerton baseball games, here today with the Orange County Riptide. And, man, just like any game I've ever seen him at, he's screaming from the stands as the second pitch to Gregory misses away, 2-0. Saw Franklin the first time in my life when I went to the Stanford Baseball Regional when I want to say I was a freshman in high school. Cal State Fullerton was playing in the tournament, and he was there at every single game screaming his ears out for the Titans in that one as the pitch misses away to Gregory, 3-0.
How do you scream your ears out?
Or scream your lungs out? I don't know. When you're next to him, Your
He
ears are
screams your ears
screams
out.
your ears out.
Not his own. He screams out yours.
I mean, he may scream his own ears out. Maybe that's why he's like yelling. Maybe that's
Maybe he
his
can't hear himself.
Yeah,
that's why he's so loud.
3-0 pitch to Gregory. That one misses. So 2 walks in the inning for Pogue and 2 runners
Just
on.
1 walk in the inning.
Oh, yeah, 1 walk in the inning for Pogue. Runner moves to second in Bobo after he singled.
Brings the tying run to the plate.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Ryan.
I meant to. I'm a thief. I'm a word thief.
That tying run is TJ Foreman, the right fielder. So the tying run at the plate. Seen Foreman not have the best power, but he has had a little bit of pop. Hit a ball to dead center against Academy. That went about 406 or 6 feet. The fence was 410, so it didn't go over. As the first pitch to Foreman, that one grazes him. Looked like it got him, and it did. So now the bases are loaded. The tying run, he's at first, and the go-ahead run, he's at the plate, and it's a pinch hitter right now for Greg Melhoff. It's going to be Daniel Cabral.
Yeah, so you thought that Melhoff was going to come up in another huge spot. That would have been incredibly ironic for Greg Melhoff. It would have been another time where he's coming on with 2 runners in scoring position, where he would have been in a similarly huge at-bat as he was in the 7th inning with 2 outs and bases loaded. But now it's going to be Daniel Cabral, another one of the newer additions to the Oaks.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bobo on third. You have Gregory on second and Foreman on first. First pitch to Cabral. That one misses inside. 1-0 the count.
And I know that the go-ahead run is at the plate. I know that the tying run is a speedster at first, and if a ball in the gap is hit, Foreman's probably coming all the way around. But I'm not swinging at many pitches here if I'm Daniel Cabral.
1-0 the count. Pogue on the mound. The pitch. Curveball. That one misses. 2-0 the count now to Daniel Cabral.
He walked 4 consecutive pitches, Zach Gregory. He hit the first pitch in TJ Foreman. He's thrown 2 straight balls here to Cabral.
Cabral fouls one just behind the plate. Count now 2-1.
And I would have never swung at that pitch if it were the juiciest 40-mile-per-hour batting practice pitch I've ever seen. Because right here in this big spot, after he's just thrown, 7 consecutive balls? I'm not swinging at a thing.
JT Naviak, he's on deck. Daniel Cabral at the plate with the 2-1 count and 2 outs. The pitch from Pogue, fouled back by Cabral, and the count now 2-2, and the Oaks, they're down to their final strike.
Why is he swinging the bat? I'm confused. This guy hasn't been throwing strikes.
That one looked a little bit over the plate. Fouled it back, though. So, 2-2 the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. We're going to do this again. The pitch from Pogue. That one misses. The count is full.
Talk about a big pitch coming up.
Yeah, it doesn't get more intense than this. Full count with 2 outs in the 9th inning. The tying run on first. The go-ahead run at the plate. The Oaks, they're looking to steal one here in Orange County. It's a game they trailed in and led in, and now they trail again. The payoff pitch. Got him looking to end the game. Daniel Cabral thought he was headed to first on a free trip. Does not. He looks at the final 3rd strike. The 2nd strikeout in the inning for Pogue. And the Oaks, they lose a heartbreaker 7-4 here in Orange County. And Ryan, what are your thoughts on today's game?
Poor situational hitting. That's what did the Oaks in. It was the Riptide. They came through when it mattered, and the Oaks didn't. In the 5th inning, the Oaks, they had 2 runners in scoring position with no outs in the inning. They were not able to advance any of them to the plate. In the 7th inning, bases loaded with 1 out. Were not able to advance any of them to the plate. And then in this final inning, they had bases loaded and were not able to scratch any runs across. For the Riptide, they did the exact opposite. They came through in big spots. In the 7th inning, with a 1-run lead, they had bases loaded with no outs. They were able to scratch across 2 runs in that inning. And that was really the difference. It was the situational hitting. The Oaks, they lost to a team that, quite frankly, they probably should have beaten today.
So the Oaks, they lose their second straight game after dropping yesterday's 10-0 to the Saints. Today they lose 7-4. They'll be back at it tomorrow at George Sparky Anderson Field. They'll be playing against the Ventura County Pirates in that game. It's a non-league matchup at 4 p.m., but they'll be back here at 1:30 on Sunday to face off against the Riptide and try to get revenge. For Ryan Milano and I here in Orange County, so long and take care.